The Ghana Football Association announced high-profile friendly games for the Black Stars in Asia. You remember that?
I remember.
Now, the communication was that the Black Stars were to play Japan and South Korea during the next international window. That announcement came right after we booked our place at the FIFA World Cup.
Okay.
Why were we excited about the announcement of the friendly? We were excited because the Black Stars were going to be given the opportunity to play against teams that would prove to be tough. Tougher than the opponents they played during the qualifiers for the World Cup.
Okay.
So a lot of us said, look, this is a good time for us to look at the team and see how they would perform against high-profile teams.
Yeah.
So this you would consider a high-profile friendly match.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of us were saying that, look, we've seen the Black Stars play Comoros. We've seen the Black Stars play Chad. We've seen them play Madagascar. We've seen them play Central African Republic.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity for us to see the Black Stars play against teams that would prove to be stubborn at the World Cup. Japan beat Brazil. Carlo Ancelotti was fuming. So playing teams like this would let you know the level of your Black Stars team.
And we even played Korea in the last World Cup.
Absolutely. So it would let you know the real level of your team. But Nathan, what have we done? You'd ask yourself, what kind of orientation did we give our players? What kind of message did we give our players concerning these two friendly games? What was the coach thinking when this announcement was made? What was the plan the coach drew? What plan did he put together for this friendly? The last time we played high-profile friendlies, or we played friendly matches that you would consider to be tough, it was at the Unity Cup.
Yep. Nigeria
was the tough test,
yeah.
And then TNT was the bonus. Okay. Now, if you don't have the luxury of playing at the AFCON, these are the matches you can use to properly assess your team. You don't have the luxury of playing 3 matches at the group stage of the AFCON, possibly get to the round of 16, possibly progress into the quarterfinals, move to the semi-final, and possibly go to the final. You don't have that luxury because you did not qualify for the AFCON. So these are the games that you need to properly assess the strength of your squad. But Nathan, what have we seen? We've seen wholesale withdrawals from players who have been invited for the competition. So, as we speak today, Kudus Mohammed, we all know, is injured. Jordan Ayew is out. I don't know why. Maybe the FA should be explaining. Thomas Partey is not available. Isaaku is not available. Alexander Jiku is also not available. And Nathan, I'll give you the full squad, the full list of key players who will be missing from this friendly. So Alexander Jiku, Jordan Ayew, Thomas Partey, Fatah Isaaku, Joseph Pencil, and Kudus Mohammed. Nathan,
Sporty FM.
Players have been called from the local scene. The Midiama boy has joined. Prince Owusu was part of the team last time. He's joined. A certain Prince Owusu has been called from Charlotte FC. Look, Nathan, all sorts of players have been quickly added to the squad. But Nathan, any serious coach who doesn't have competitive matches ahead of him, that coach should be looking at seeing the real level of his squad with his best players against teams like Japan.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't know what communication they gave the players. I don't know what explanation the players were given with regard to this friendly match that was organized. For them to buy into the competition and say, well, this will be an opportunity for us to test our strength against some of these top teams. And that's why I'm saying I am disappointed in the management of the team. Because this opportunity or this window presented us with an opportunity to see our best players and how they would fare against some of the best teams in the world. So South Korea, as we speak, are bringing their entire squad. Full team you would most likely see at the World Cup.
Yep. Japan
is doing the same. Because they want to see the level of their team. But only Ghana. This is an opportunity for us to do Matra Makwe. Another Matra Makwe in the offing. Another time for us to now go and see chopping and changing squads. Today this player plays, this player doesn't play tomorrow. And then we'll continue like this until the next friendly game is organized. Nathan, at what point would we get all our players to test games against quality opposition? At what time? Nathan, look, if we are serious about what we want to go and do about at the World Cup, the preparation starts now. And this is not the time for us to be joking with high-profile games like this. So we play Japan on Friday.
This is Sporty.
You have your top goalkeeper here in Accra playing Super Clash. After the game, he will travel for 20 hours to get to Japan. Recover in time to play on Friday against Japan. You play South Korea on 18th, on Tuesday, next week Tuesday. These are two crucial games that we shouldn't be playing with. All the players have run away. So today, do you know what is happening? Today, we are now chasing clubs in Japan. Now, when you go, you say, oh, Gamba Osaka, do they have any Ghanaian boy there? Oh, you go to Yokohama Marinos. Do they have any Ghanaian player there? Kashima Antlers. Do they have any players there? Oh, any Ghanaian player? Oh, you go to Asia. You go to Malaysia. Are there any Ghanaian players there? You go to South Korea. Are there any Ghanaian players there? Now we are trying to patch up the team to have a full squad to go and play a friendly game. Nathan, why? Nathan, why are we doing this? So the Black Stars would possibly go into these two games, lose these two games, and the explanation will be that, oh, we are trying new players. Nathan, at what point do we know the real level of the Black Stars against opposition like Japan and South Korea? Because these are certainly not going to give us the opposition Chad, Comoros, Madagascar, Central African Republic and give us. To give us a quality test. And this is what we'll see our coach. This is what we'll see our players wear. Captain of the side missing. Key midfielder missing. Forward line depleted. We have to go and call another German-born Charlotte FC Ghanaian boy, Prince Owusu. You know he's a German.
Who?
The Charlotte FC boy.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's a German boy. He's one of those Otuado German recruits. No, Nathan. And you know Attuquayefio has finally been cleared. So Attuquayefio is part of this team.
Okay.
Nathan, I think that, look, the FA should be serious. If we are thinking of going to the World Cup to go and perform, or we are thinking of going to the World Cup to go and do well, in the absence of an AFCON competition, these are the games we should be playing with our best players to know their level. To at least get some team chemistry. Get the team to understand each other. Get to understand the mentality of the team when they come up against quality opposition. Look, Nathan, during the qualifiers, we didn't play any quality opposition. We played teams ranked 100 plus, 140 plus in the FIFA ranking. This is an opportunity to play teams high up the FIFA ladder, the FIFA ranking. Japan and South Korea. And look at what we are doing. We cannot even put together a solid team, a solid squad. Well, that is why the GFA is running away from presenting the squad.
Oh, how?
Because they know they don't have any players in there.
How?
Nathan, have you heard this before? Japan released their squad last week. South Korea released their squad last week. Me, I couldn't read Japanese, but I saw the team. Nathan, you saw it.
You couldn't read Japanese.
You saw the squad. You saw how they wrote it?
Yeah. But that's in their language.
Yes, they wrote it in. But I saw the squad. Only the Black Stars. So we are going to play a friendly game.
So what if what you saw was a recipe for noodle soup?
What I saw was squad list, Blue Samurai. okay, that is the squad. No, by the time, these are serious matters, and everybody thinks it's okay that we are going to play a friendly game. We are going to play 2 high-profile friendly games, and nobody has seen the squad. It is okay, and the FA thinks it's okay. The reason why they are struggling is that a lot of the players they invited didn't see this friendly as a serious competition. They didn't see it as a serious game, so a lot of them have chickened out. A lot of them have backed out. So we are going to play these 2 high-profile games with a skeleton Black Star squad when you are preparing for the World Cup. And that's what I'm saying. Preparation for the World Cup starts from friendlies like this.
Yeah.
Because the qualifiers, you didn't play anybody. And who did you play in the qualifiers? Who did you play in the qualifiers? And that is where my disappointment is coming from this morning. So on Friday and on Tuesday, Ghanaians should just expect that their Black Stars will go out there and get beaten.
Oh.
And the explanation will be that we didn't get the full complement of our squad. Why didn't we get the full complement of our squad? When did we get to know of this friendly game? And what did we start telling our players? What did we get our players to understand? Look, Nathan, this is the Black Stars we are talking about. This is the Black Stars. And if the Black Stars cannot raise the quality side to face Japan and South Korea, what are the handlers doing? What is the work of the Black Stars management team? That we are supposed to give them appreciation bonuses. What work are they supposed to do? The technical handlers of the team, the coach, what is he telling the players? Do I need you? I don't need you. Do you have to play this game or not? Nathan, let's be serious here. We must be serious. Unless maybe we are going to the World Cup just to participate. Or unless we are going to the World Cup just to organize a cha-cha draw, to fly lucky 220 people there, for whatever reason, only they would know. Or unless we are going to the World Cup for people to line their pockets, per diems, appearance fees. Unless that is the reason why we are going to the World Cup. But if we are going there to provide credible competition to the teams we are going to play against, these are the matches we should be taking serious. That is why my disappointment is coming this morning.
Okay.
That is why I am disappointed this morning. The FA, instead of organizing, being serious about these games, are busy launching draws for lucky 220 people to be flown to Mexico, USA,
but the FA
and Canada.
The FA is not organizing.
Is it not a partnership between the FA and the NS and the lotteries? I don't know the people behind it. I don't know the people. That is what they are interested in. They keep the main part of the job. Look at how they are handling it.
Sporty
The main part of the job. Nathan, show me the players you've seen in camp. The FA website. Have they been confident enough to even post a picture of the players they have in camp? No, Nathan, show me the updates from the Black Stars camp in Japan. Show me.
I mean, I get you.
I mean, Nathan, look, let's not do this. Look, it is clear. We are not serious about this friendly game. It is clear. And it seems they have forgotten that this is where the preparation starts. Look, we are not going to spend millions of dollars in USA, Mexico, Canada for the Black Stars to come and give us any wishy-washy performance and take $100,000 appearance fee and go home. Or management members will take $100,000 appearance fee and go and share. No, that one won't happen. And they must get serious with this team. They must get serious with this Black Stars team. I rest my case.
So that's the word from Raymond this morning. It says we must be serious with the 2 friendlies. This is not the time for jokes. This is not the time for jokes. Well, look, on a real. I don't know why we don't have updates on the squad, because Ghanaians deserve to know who is going to Japan, who is not going. So we have an idea as to the mindset. The mindset. Anyway, let me just read the story. Ray, so remember the earlier story I was reading when you said that, you know, you were going, you had a lot more to tell us. So this is on Ghana Web, right? But they sourced it from GhanaSoccerNet.com. And it says that Alex Jiku, Thomas Partey, Jordan Ayew, Fatai Sahaku, Joseph Pencil, and Mo Kudus have all withdrawn from the squad due to recent injuries or knocks. Okay? Now, while initially named in the team, they will remain with their clubs to rest and recover, following agreements with the Black Stars management and medical staff. The clubs have opted not to risk their players' fitness or the fitness of their players by allowing them to travel for assessments by the national team doctors. So
release them to be assessed by our doctors. Release them. Let them come to Japan. Let our doctors look at them and say, "Oh, Semenyo is not fit. Go. Kudus is not fit. Go. Partey is not fit. Go. Jiku is not fit. Go." Release them. Nathan, it tells you the seriousness, even the players attached to the friendlies. And it is dangerous for us. Nathan, it is very dangerous. Because this is another Matra Makwe we are going to do it. A high-profile friendly match. This is a Matra Makwe. Japan is not a weak opposition when it comes to international football. It's not weak.
But the other day you said they were not the strongest either.
Oh, of course, there are levels to it. But Japan, if you watch Japan beat Brazil, it is not a team you can write off. Okay? And it gives you the opportunity to look at your players well. How do you respond to non-Comoros, non-Chad, non-Central African Republic opposition? Quality opposition. And this is what we want to do. Players are withdrawing anyhow. And these are your key players. So who are the people going to play the game? You cannot confidently give us the squad. You cannot confidently publish the squad of players who will be playing this friendly. We don't know who has been called up. And that's what I'm telling you. Today, they are going to Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, and co. Don't be surprised to see Jordan Opoku in the squad. Jordan Minta in the squad. Any player close to the Japanese border, bring him. Once he has Ghana flag attached to his name, bring him. Oh, Nathan, look. You can't run and
recently I read that story of the Ghanaian who was playing in Tibet.
Yes.
Or I don't know whether he was playing or he played.
If that boy is available today, they'll bring him.
Anyway, in talking about that, let me just give you this one. They said, so to fill in the gaps, right? Remember I've read to you a list of absentees. Very good.
Fill in the gap for us.
So they're filling the gap. Now, according to this story, Otuado has handed call-ups to new faces, including Prince Owusu, CF Montreal. That's in Canada.
That boy. That's the German boy I'm talking about. The German boy I'm talking about. Journeyman.
Kelvin Nkrumah, Mediama, and Czech-based striker Prince Kwabena Edu.
Have you heard of him before? Czech. What club does he play in Czech Republic?
Is it Pilsen?
No, you see, Nathan. Come on. Come on, this is the Black Stars we are talking about.
This is Sporty FM.
These are the players going to play against Japan. These are the players. And who again? Mention them.
Kelvin Nkrumah, Mediama.
You see, Nathan, this is where we are. This is where we are with the Black Stars. I'm saying that the FA cannot even publish a picture of the players in camp. Only Aminu Shadow is taking selfies with a couple of them putting on the status. Only the team manager knows the players that he has in his camp. And I'm sure if the Japanese are paying for this competition, I'm sure if the Japanese and the Koreans are paying for this friendly, expecting to see our high-profile players, and we are parading these players as our Black Stars, I'm sure they'll be asking for a refund.
Oh. Refund for what?
I'm sure they'll be asking for a refund. I'm telling you. Because they'll be expecting a full-strength Black Star squad. And if it is this 50-40% strength Black Stars team we are parading to play this friendly, and they'll be demanding a refund. Look, we did this thing in Unity Cup. Oh, let us try and see. Nathan, we are still not done with the trials. We cannot convince our players to play high-profile friendly games. So when would they be ready? When would they be ready to play?
Next year, when the season ends and then they are in camp, because that one they are already there.
You see, Nathan, we cannot run the Black Stars like this. Almost as if
Sporty FM.
certain players will decide when they want to play for the national team, when they don't want to. Almost as if they are doing us a favor. Look at the mass withdrawals. So Nathan, all these players are injured. After one weekend, all of them are suddenly injured.
It can happen.
Oh, I see. They are doing well. Nathan, I rest my case on this matter. But all of us will be here on Friday to watch that game.
Okay. 7:57. You can send me a WhatsApp message. Do you agree with Raymond or you disagree? Remember, at 8 a.m. we'll give you Emmanuel Ayamga's piece or his story of Accra Hearts of Oak. Okay, Accra Hearts of Oak. Today, Accra Hearts of Oak are 114 years old. Hearts of Oak, Jones Attuquayefio, and the Treble-Winning 64 Battalion. It's a feature that will give you. I always say that many people do not know that Hearts actually won a treble in the year 2000, 99-2000. They won the league, they won the cup, and then they won the CAF Champions League. That is as good as any treble anywhere. All right, before we get into the feature, let me give you a few announcements. So, Dunia Safari and Sporty FM are joining their efforts to take you to Morocco to go and watch the AFCON later this year, right? Later this year, the AFCON will be happening. Ghana may not be there, or Ghana is not there. It doesn't mean you should not be there. Gather your things. Let's go to Morocco to go and watch the AFCON. Travel with your family or your squad or your boys or your girls to go and watch the AFCON. Use the Sporty FM promo code SportyFan25 when booking to unlock a special 20% discount for a minimum of 3 people booking. And you can speak with Dunia Safari on 053-808-7709 or email travelduniasafari@gmail.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Travel Dunia Safari. And don't forget to use the promo code SportyFan25 to get that 20% discount for a minimum of 3 people who are booking for that trip to Morocco. Now, MTN is telling you that MTN Free After One Extra is here. With MTN Free After One Extra, you can talk for 1 whole hour uninterrupted while paying for only the first minute. And you get to talk for 60 minutes straight with no interruptions. If you like what you hear, know that you need to subscribe to MTN Free After One. You also get 100 MB of data for free after your first call on Saturdays. To subscribe to MTN Free After One Extra, just dial *550# *550#. Hearts of Oak are celebrating their birthday today. What have you got to tell Hearts of Oak? If you're a Hearts fan, what is your favorite Hearts of Oak moment? Again, if you're a Hearts fan, where do you want to see Accra Hearts of Oak in the next 10, 20, 30 years? As they mark 114 today, where do you want to see the club in the next 10, 15 to 20 years? Send me a WhatsApp message, 054-257-1061. A little later, we'll open the phone lines. All right, let's get into the feature. Emmanuel Ayamga has been looking at the super team built under Jones Attuquayefio. They called it the 64 Battalion from way back. They were a very, very, very good side. They won the league, 6 on a bounce, I think. So part of the 64 Battalion won, I think, the first 3 or so. And then after that, you had the others coming to win. But between 96 and 2002, Hearts of Oak had done 6 straight league titles. And those were the heady days of Accra Hearts of Oak. As they did all of that, they did the unthinkable. They went to win the CAF Champions League at a time that, it was a very interesting period, right? But they managed to do so. They beat Esperance of Tunis over 2 legs to win the CAF Champions League and put Hearts into the promised land of winning a treble, one of the few teams to do a treble all over the world. So here is another Amga story. Hearts of Oak, Jones Attuquayefio, and the treble-winning 64 Battalion. Part of our Sporty stories. Enjoy. When we come back, we have other things to serve you this morning. This is the Sporty Breakfast.
Good teams become great ones when the members trust each other enough to surrender the me for the we. 13-time NBA winning player and coach, Phil Jackson.
Looking towards Addo. 3-1, no question now. 5-2 on aggregate. And I think we might get the celebration from Ismail Addo.
In every generation, there's that one sports team that just towers over everyone else. In the Northeast, Hearts of Oak were Ghana's version of that juggernaut. This team didn't just win games. They rewrote the narrative of what it meant to endure, to fight, and to dominate.
Even when we are playing and we are down by one, that we see it as even a motivation.
But even for a club with so many historic high moments in that decade, Hearts will struggle to beat what they achieved in 2000. It remains the most successful campaign by any Ghanaian club ever. The year in which Hearts' season unfolded like a script only the football gods could write, using a pen from ancient Greece.
I mean, when you see the team coming, you are even afraid.
A long campaign that started in the cheerful city of Tamale with big dreams saw them cap it all off back home in Accra 9 months later with a treble.
Oh, absolutely fantastic team. I mean, from goalkeeper to the last end. At the point, if you're going to the stadium and they are playing, you are not going to ask yourself who has scored who. The question asked is, how many did we score? That's how much confidence the team, exude. And it was just an amazing team.
Never mind that Hearts were head and shoulders above every team in the Ghana Premier League. They carried their conquest all across the continent too. Hearts invaded Conakry and took out Haroya AC. In Kinshasa, DC Mutemba Pembe ran them close, but ultimately fell on their swords. The task of stopping the Phobians then fell to Al Ali, Lobby Stars, and Gian Diak. But Cecil Jones Attuquayefio and the 64 Battalions blitzed the cities of Cairo, Makurdi, and Dakar before storming the walls of Tunis to silence the Carthage city and become Ghana's first and so far only football club to annex the league, FA Cup, and CAF Champions League titles in the same season.
As players, we wanted to leave a legacy. We wanted to achieve something that would immortalize our names.
This Hearts team wasn't just good, they were great. Arguably, the greatest club side ever to emerge from these shores.
Individual comparison, yes, we cannot compare ourselves to that of the Fearsome Fire, or maybe the maybe the Shamus. But then, when it comes to collective, we are the best. Simply the best. You cannot compare any squad to ours. See, we are simply the best, and we continue to be the best.
Hello, you are welcome to the Sporty Stories podcast. In this episode, we tell the story of Hearts of Oak's peerless side that won everything in the year 2000. A team and a manager of a generation, Hearts and their head coach Cecil Jones Attuquayefio were just too good for the competition in Ghana and across Africa. But what's the story behind their incredible success? What did they do right? And why were the 64 Battalion such a fearsome team? The year 2000 was one of the most memorable in terms of sporting successes. Venus Williams won her first championship at Wimbledon after defeating Lindsay Davenport. Australian swimmer Ian Thorpe historically won 5 medals at the Sydney Summer Olympics. The New York Yankees beat the New York Mets in 5 games in the first Subway Series since 1956, and the St. Louis Rams saw off Tennessee Titans to win Super Bowl 34. The story was no different in football, where there were many notable against the odds triumphs for Lazio, winners of Serie A, AS Monaco, champions of Ligue 1, Deportivo La Coruña, conquerors of La Liga, and Galatasaray, victors in the UEFA Cup. That team filtered through in Ghana as well, where Hearts of Oak, heated to a nearly club in continental competitions, completed a fairy tale season that ended with an incredible treble. The Ghanaian Giants mastered the art of winning with style, verve, and fervor. If their racking up of consecutive wins was sportingly illusory, the cheeky ease with which they dismantled opponents made them even more endearing. For the average football fan, this Hearts team represented in totality what football should be and how it should be played. Yaw Amankwah, a key member of the Hearts team that won everything in the year 2000, says their training back then prioritized playing forward and putting the opponent under pressure from the get-go.
One thing I could remember about Jones is that always he will tell you, play forward, play forward. It gets to a time when we are training there, you give a back pass to your goalkeeper or to your player or to a side pass to your player. He will tell you, no, it's a foul. Keep playing. And if you realize that time, we always play forward. We always keep pressure on our opponent.
Indeed, the Phobians themselves have had some very good teams in the past, like the side that won the Ghana Premier League with a record 78 points, or even the group that went unbeaten in the 2003 league season. However, Cecil Jones' Attuquayefio's side of the year 2000 was on a completely different level, for they remained the greatest of all. Boasted by a squad of depth and immense quality, has made light work of every opponent, both domestically and on the continent, as they romped to the treble of League, FA Cup, and CAF Champions League titles. Nicknamed the 64 Battalions, Hearts were so dominant that fans compared the ruthlessness of the team to the 64th Infantry Regiment, a commando-trained special operations unit formed within the Ghana Army when the country was under military rule in the 1980s.
The name came from the supporters, relating it to military side of department that is called a 64 Battalion. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So I think the supporters realized that we're working like a 64 Battalion in the military department, and so that they relate us to the 64 Battalion, and that's where we had the name 64 Battalion. And so for me, through our effort and how we were performing, and that was what we gained the name 64 Battalion.
This Hearts team had it all. They boasted a squad of talent and eminence with a perfect blend of fighters and leaders, technical ability and tactical flexibility. The agility and awareness of Samir J made him unstoppable in post. Yaw Amankwah and Jacob Neti brought composure and comportment to the fullback positions. Ajimandria and Sani Wahab were fierce and feisty at the heart of defense. Charles Alote, Joe Ansa, and Ajatete were wily and tidy in midfield, while the trio of Charles Taylor, Emmanuel Osei-Kufuor, and Ishmael Ado were attacking royalty. Their bench was equally skilled and potent, with the likes of Stephen Tete, Edmond Copson, Daniel Quay, and Emmanuel Ajogu all rising to the occasion whenever called upon. In a flawless season that is unlikely to be repeated for many decades, Hearts won 18 out of 30 league games, went unbeaten in the CAF Champions League from the group stages, and lost just 7 matches in all competitions throughout the campaign.
We never cared about the history of our opponents. We just believed in our own strength and superiority. Sometimes, once we got to the field, we knew victory was on the way. We were so confident because some of the teams and players we faced in the Ghana Premier League were far better than our opponents in Africa. So we just needed to scale through such games.
That was Charles Asampon Taylor, a Ghana Premier League great and one member of the fearsome attacking triad that powered the Rainbow Club to the treble. Hearts of Oak's unprecedented treble success came largely thanks to the influence and genius of head coach Cecil Jones Attuquayefio. For if this winning machine of a team was the gold, Attuquayefio was the skilled miner who oversaw its digging and refinery.
Jones was he was a philosopher. I mean, he always played with the mentality of the players, and he always wanted positive players. Jones Attuquayefio will let you understand what he wants you to do on the field of play. Yes, the 64 battalions, yes, in as much that he handled them for over 3 years, at the point where Hearts of Oak has been banned for transfer issues and all that. So he had all his players, and you could clearly read between the lines the Jacob Netes, the Amankwam Rikus, the Dankways, you talk of Johan Sanz, Emmanuel Kufuor, that is the general, you talk of Ishmael Ado, Charles Alote. These are guys that on any day, Jones will let them know that this is what I want you to do for me. Yeah. Jones Attuquayefio, it is consistency. You have Samuel J. Impo, you have Amankwam Riku, you have Jacob Nete, you have Dankwe, you have the Johan Sanz, Stephen Tete, you have Ajimandria. These are guys that he has been able to put through. And before a match, Jones Attuquayefio will talk to you one-on-one. He will let you understand what he needs from you. And if a team plays consistency, of course, it's difficult to break them. It's difficult to go through. And at that time, too, the Asofok supporters were united. You talk of Chapter 9 in Kumasi. They were together. Led by Nia Ibunte, then Tommy Okai, and the like. So there were a lot of teamwork in Asofok. Jones Attuquayefio had a command. He has his hands on the team, and it was difficult to convince Jones about a player. His decision has always been right. And of course, if Asofok is playing, you sit down and you relax and you see them playing. That is what Jones Attuquayefio. Consistency did the job.
When the gentle, bowed-headed Attuquayefio was appointed coach of Hearts in 1998, his main task was to transform the team into one capable of competing on the continent. Despite being the most successful side in the country, it was somewhat embarrassing that the Accra Giants had not won any African title in their 87 years of existence. Attuquayefio would, however, go on to lead the club into the most successful spell in their history. He had achieved commendable feats with great Olympics. Okwehu United, Stade Abidjan, and Ghana's under-17 side. But the pinnacle of his coaching career was now about to unfold. Ace Ghanaian journalist Fifi Banson covered Hearts of Oak extensively in the 1990s and 2000s, and he was always awed by Attuquayefio's strong bond with his players.
Successor was the master architect of it. His brain work was completely different. The way he approached games, the way he approached the players. The players, let me say this, when you have a coach who is like a father to the kids and they feel like playing for him, it's so easy. So anything he would have taught them. He's the same person at the point who played against Nigeria's Super Eagles with almost 11 Hearts of Oak players. So the boys knew that we are playing against the mighty Super Eagles with Cameron Wanku and all those boys, But we will not let Jones down. They played them to a pulsating draw. So it tells you that he's standing by the touchline alone was enough motivation, and the boys understood him, and he played with that, And Jones himself, he's a legend. Yeah. He played in the Black Stars in many years. So
won the AFCON.
He won an AFCON, and all that. So the boys just loved him, and I don't think that I've seen any kind of combination in recent history with coaches and players and coaches like that. With Jones and how he treated his boys.
Attuquayefio was usually spotted with a white handkerchief tied to his wrist, a gesture symbolic of victory in Ghanaian parlance. He was a man of very few words, but whenever he spoke, he had this philosophical tone which epitomized his winning mentality. On maintaining discipline within the team, Amankwam Riku, who later became Attuquayefio's captain at Hearts, says every player knew not to test the gaffer's fury.
He's all around. When it's time to play, he will do that. When it's time to work, and he has to be on top. He has to do that. When he has to insult you, when he has to, do whatever for you as a player to play, he will let you know. That's what I'm saying. So he's all weather. You can't predict him. He can do anything at any time, and therefore, you as a player, you need to always prepare for that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Knowing the moment and the time at which you will find yourself when it comes to Jones.
Attuquayefio's man management was also second to none. Despite the stiff competition for places in the squad, coupled with the big egos in the dressing room, he knew exactly how to keep everyone happy and to also bring out the best in his players. This, Charles Taylor believes, is best explained by how united the squad was and how decisive those who often came off the bench were.
Jones Attuquayefio was the type of coach who ensured the dressing room was a happy one. Even the players who were usually left on the bench always came on with a grin. His relationship with each player was special, and we used to train with a lot of joy. And it is that happiness that we translated into matches.
It will deliver my across because of
Attuquayefio's arrival as Hearts coach created a buzz never seen before in the local game. But despite all the optimism, the challenge ahead was a daunting one. A club of great history, Hearts were by far the best Ghanaian side from the 50s through to the 80s. In between that period, Kotoko had announced themselves and gone on to be crowned African champions twice in 1970 and 1983. A massive power shift saw Hearts overtaken by their rivals again at the turn of the 90s. The Phobians had won 11 league trophies and 6 FA Cup titles before 1990, but the succeeding years weren't as generous. A series of underwhelming results, coupled with a 6-year league drought, left the club in a damning situation. A despondent fan base, an aged squad, and a lack of technical direction meant Hearts was fast approaching crisis level. While Hearts were on the decline, their rivals took center stage. The Phobians' main adversaries, Asante Kotoko, emerged as the superior force in the country in the early 90s. With brutish dominance, the Porcupine Warriors won 3 successive league titles at the turn of that decade. Even worse for Hearts, by 1994 they had been pushed further down the pecking order, with Goldfields, later known as Ashanti Gold, also winning the league 3 times on the bounce. In the 6 seasons that Kotoko and Goldfields dominated the league, Hearts finished second twice, third once, and then slumped to 5th in 3 of those campaigns. For the millions of fans affiliated with the Rainbow Club, this was unacceptable. Ernest Thompson, a former board secretary of Hearts of Oak, says the pressure at the time was relentless. He recalls receiving phone calls not just from disgruntled supporters, but also from high-profile personalities in the country who were unhappy with the club's decline, including politicians.
When I went into Hearts of Oak, I was with NSB Diakun and the rest, 1994. We met some doyens. We learned a lot. I mean, for instance, at Hearts of Oak, there was Nana Rikwamping, Harry Sawyer, right, Nyahuta Maklo, and the rest. We had the Council of Patrons. And when things were going on, they would call us, and we were learning, right? And that's something I've learned in football, that when you are put in charge of a team, you have to learn. You have to learn and listen to also others who have done it before. I believe that some of the current management members don't take their time to learn, right? Maybe there's pressure on them from the supporters.
But you guys had more pressure, actually.
Yeah, we had more pressure, but as I said, we were prepared to learn. Right. I mean, if I tell you the way we coordinated, you'll be surprised. I was staying in Jawulu, just here, close to the studio. Isako has called me. Right, we are discussing something. Nigbese will call you. Alaji As will call you. We are discussing something. And we worked as a team, right? And our focus also was to make the players like us. And we also like the players. We had that closeness with the players. So they were prepared to play for the team.
In 1995, the Hearts hierarchy made its first contact with Attuquayefio, having identified him as the right man to overturn the club's fortunes. They desperately wanted him to replace Peter Gavrila, who had just been sacked for failing to return the Phobians to the glory days. Gavrila had been in charge since 1991, winning just 1 FA Cup, but the Romanian's failure to bring major silverware ultimately proved to be his undoing. His departure looked to have cleared the way for Attuquayefio to step in, until the 51-year-old's partisan past scooped the move. Having previously played for and managed Accra Great Olympics, some Hearts fans found it unacceptable that a son of the enemy would manage their club. Those were the days when the Manchester Derby, played between city rivals Hearts of Oak and Great Olympics, was one of the biggest games in Africa. To make matters worse, Attuquayefio had a checkered history with Hearts. As the story goes, in 1960, he rejected a move to the Rainbow Club before rather egotistically declaring that he would never play for Hearts. He is also said to have made several spiteful comments against the Phobians during his playing days. So, while Attuquayefio was an Accra boy, there was still plenty of resentment towards him in some parts of the city. On one occasion, when the Hearts hierarchy tried to manage issues and hire him, the result was near fatal. Such was the level of resentment towards Attuquayefio the fans charged at him when he was invited to observe one of the club's training sessions. The move, therefore, had to be called off. Amid growing criticism over the club's years of underperformance, the Hearts hierarchy quickly began a massive overhaul, albeit without their preferred choice of manager. Between 1994 and 1998, the club uncharacteristically changed coaches 4 times. Hearts' test for league glory finally ended in the 1996-1997 season when they won the title under the managerial guidance of E.K. Afrani. But despite the league returning to Accra, Afrani was replaced before the start of the next campaign. Hearts would, however, go on to win another league title. With the club's 90th anniversary fast approaching, conquering Africa became the ultimate goal. Having been formed on 11th November 1911, Hearts' best run in the CAF Champions League had been runner-up finishes in 1977 and 1979. Desperate to win a continental title before their 90th anniversary, Hearts once again looked the way of Attuquayefio in 1998. This time, both fans and management were begrudgingly in agreement that he was the right man to lead the club to continental glory. Rivalries and resentments aside, Attuquayefio was finally appointed house coach. Little did each party know that this was going to be the most fruitful union in the history of Ghanaian club football.
He was just a true professional. I mean, you see, your works will sell you out. You know, there was no bias, there was nothing. You know, his works just told people that, look, this guy is a pro. And moreover, when you see Hearts of Oak, they don't care where you have come from, especially when out of your heart you're doing what you're doing for them. So they saw that Jones, as much as he came, Harry Zakor came from Olympics as chairman, Millennium chairman. He came from Olympics, and guess what? He came to win the Champions League for Hearts of Oak. So as for the initial skeptical rivalry conversation, it will pop up. But when they see your commitment and how much you love the club and how much you want to make history with the club, it is as if there's no history between you and your previous clubs. You know, so Jones, his playing career, Olympics, yes, but his coaching career, his claim to fame was with Hearts of Oak.
Attuquayefio took over a team of champions. Now, he had the unenviable task of turning them into continental conquerors. Where every other manager before him had failed, he had to find a way. But Attuquayefio was ready for the challenge. After all, he relished the big occasions. As a player, he was part of the Black Star squad that won the 1965 Africa Cup of Nations. As a coach, though, all he had was a promising CV, having been part of the technical team of the Ashanti Ghost side that won 3 league titles in the mid-1990s, as well as serving as an assistant coach to Samade's Black Meteors team at the Olympics. But he was yet to win major silverware, despite the visible progress he had made at his previous clubs. That made Attuquayefio a coach looking to take his career to the next level, and Hearts, a club looking to conquer Africa, the perfect match. For both club and coach were in sync in terms of ambition.
As players, we wanted to leave a legacy. We wanted to achieve something that would immortalize our names. We were champions in Ghana, but we wanted to conquer Africa. So every player was determined to make it happen and honor the talented group of players who came before us. The likes of Mohamed Polo were probably better than us, and we strongly believed we could win the Champions League.
Champions League, you know,
Attuquayefio quickly set out to overhaul the Hearts squad. However, his first 2 attempts at the CAF Champions League did not go according to plan, as Hearts exited the competition at the group stage in the 1998 and 1999 seasons. In the old format of the CAF Champions League, qualified teams were paired into 2 groups of 4 teams each, and the 2 sides that finished top of their groups automatically advanced to the final. These disappointments dealt Attuquayefio a massive reality check, but he swiftly began placing his fingerprints on the team with key signings. For a man looking to conquer Africa, he surprisingly turned to youth. Attuquayefio's choices were cut out by the fact that he was combining the Hearts job with his role as head coach of Ghana's Under-17 team, who he had led to a 3rd-place finish at the 1999 Under-17 World Cup. It therefore became easier for him to lure the best talents from the youth teams to join Hearts. Ishmael Addo and Stephen Tete members of the Black Starlets 1999 squad joined the ranks of the Phobians. Sammy Ejay, also a standout in Ghana's 1999 FIFA Under-20 World Cup campaign, was quickly drafted in to become Hearts' first-choice goalkeeper, usurping Ebendida Ama. Ejay was the most promising Ghanaian goalkeeper at the time. Tete was already a regular with Great Olympics, while Ado was top scorer in the 1999 FIFA Under-17 World Cup. All three players, although very young, were joining with great reputations. The year before, Hearts had secured the transfer of the season when they signed Ebusuan Dwarf's best player, Emmanuel Attuquayefio.
You can't pick anybody out. There was no missing link in that team, from Sammy Ejay all through to Jacob Neta, Mankwam Reku, Ajatete, Ishmael Ado. Oh, he was clinical. I have seen loads of strikers in our recent history, but I think Ishmael still starts out on one of the best strikers we've seen. If I put Ishmael out, then it's Asamoah next in recent history. So Ishmael was phenomenal. Attuquayefio General was another amazing. He was more matured, so he came with a lot of experience because he came from Ebusuan Dwarfs, to join the team, and he was more matured, so he had a lot of control. I mean, Fameye, Charles Taylor. So at that point, Hearts 11, when they say it's a mighty team, that song that they used to sing, the bench was sometimes even stronger than the first 11.
Gradually, Attuquayefio was getting his team in shape. If these signings were not warning enough, a 4-1 drubbing of Afenya United in the opening game of the 1999 season sent shivers down the spines of opposition teams. Hearts and Attuquayefio left all other teams in their wake, winning the league with 62 points, 9 clear of second place Ebusuan Dwarfs. Their failure in the CAF Champions League, though, wasn't all forgotten, especially in 1999, when Hearts finished third in a group containing Raja Casablanca, Al Ahly, and Shooting Stars. There was, however, consolation as Attuquayefio led the Phobians to lift the FA Cup at the end of the season, following a 3-1 victory over city rivals Great Olympics. Although Hearts couldn't cut it in Africa, Attuquayefio had done enough to keep his job by winning the double, the club's first since 1990. It was a bittersweet end to the season for many of the players, but Attuquayefio encouraged them to savor the moment while eyeing bigger things. His go-to motivation? Music. And Amankwa Miracle remembers it all.
We have this song that we normally sing, which he liked that song so much. Yes, I believe. Yes, I believe. Yes, I believe. All things are possible. Yes, I believe. So this is the type of song he always, raised for us to sing. And so for me, that has been a motivation working with him.
Determined to still write his name in gold, Attuquayefio sought further reinforcements ahead of the 2000 campaign. Although Haas scored over 70 goals in the previous season, he wasn't content. So, despite boasting the league's top scorer in Ishmael Ado, who netted 19 times in the 1999 season, Attuquayefio still went all out to acquire the signature of the intuitive Charles Taylor. Having established himself as one of the league's best young forwards, Taylor joined as the final piece in Haas's jigsaw. All was now set to chase that elusive continental title. Attuquayefio assembled a lethal, fearsome frontline led by Taylor, Ado, and the goal-hungry Attuquayefio. Initially, there were doubts about whether the three would gel when played in the same lineup. There were also questions over the trio's presence disrupting the balance of the team. Such fears were, however, quickly banished once the season started. The trio became the deadliest attacking unit on the continent, tearing opposition defenses apart with cheeky ease. Haas's front three was such a handful for opposition defenders that Amankwa Miracle says they went into games knowing they would always score no matter what.
These guys are the heroes in our team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whenever we see them up front, we are that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we are overconfident that definitely they will deliver. Definitely, if we, the defenders and the midfielders, if we are able to just distribute the pass to them, definitely they will deliver. And so for me, that has been our hope. That has been our source of hope when we are playing. I mean, very confident that having these guys up front will just really come out victorious. And so that has been also one of our defendable three guys that we normally hope they will definitely deliver in terms of goals.
The Phobians started that season like an angry mother confessor, confessing every opponent before them. They ruthlessly dominated and battered opposition sides into submission. Hearts won each of their first 7 games of the 2000 league season, including a 4-0 rout of bitter rivals Asante Kotoko.
And that's a good ball. It should be goal number 4 for Hazard. And cleverly, what a brilliant by Emmanuel Attuquayefio. Oh, what a humiliation for Kotoko. Great play by Attuquayefio. Brilliant goal. I mean, the goalkeeper and the entire defense. And watch the fans celebrating the goal. Accra Hazard for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Can you believe that?
Their winning run was finally halted on match day 8 when they drew 1-1 at Power FC. The 64 Battalions, however, went unbeaten in the first round of the league, impressively winning 14 out of 15 games, incredibly scoring 39 goals while conceding a miserly 8 goals. The league was virtually won at this point, with Goldfields trailing by 16 points in second place and Kotoko also chasing a whooping 18-point gap. Still unbeaten going into August, Attuquayefio and his Chargers wrapped up the title after match day 20 when they beat Hazakes 3-1. Such was the efficiency of this Hearts team that many believe they could have gone unbeaten had they not taken their foot off the gas after winning the league. Having wrapped up the title in record time, Hearts won only one of their remaining 10 league games. This was, however, understandable as they now had their eyes firmly set on the FA Cup and CAF Champions League. Although a rotational Hearts team was underperforming in the league, the story was totally different in the cup competitions. Attuquayefio and the 64 Battalions recorded narrow wins over Hazakes, BA United, and Dewu Youngsters to set up an exciting final in the FA Cup against Okwewu United. In Africa too, Hearts were crashing all before them. They defeated Guinea's AC Haroya and DC Motema Pembe from DR Congo to qualify for the group stage of the CAF Champions League. Paired in Group B with Lobi Stars, Jean Diak, and Egyptian giants Al Ali, the Phobians finally navigated their way to the final of the CAF Champions League, and they did it in style. Hearts were unbeaten in the group, securing 14 out of 18 points, scoring 12 goals and conceding just 5. With this, they set up a blockbuster final against Tunisian heavyweights Esperance. With 2 crucial finals to come in the space of 28 days, there couldn't have been a better moment for Attuquayefio and his Chargers to finally write their names in gold.
If you say a fan on it, Tunisia and Esperance, I was on the first match. You determine at least
we relished those 2 finals. The Champions League final against Esperance in Tunisia, especially. We were determined to at least get a draw in the first leg so that we can finish the job at home. As players, we held several meetings before the game and we vowed to go all out on the pitch. Our sharp attack featuring myself, Emmanuel Attuquayefio and Ishmael Ado also had to deliver, and we did.
On November 19, Hearts won a second successive double under Attuquayefio after recording a hard-fought 2-0 win over Okwewu United in the FA Cup final. Ishmael Ado and Emmanuel Attuquayefio getting the goals. There was, however, no time for overblown celebrations as the club immediately shifted focus to the Champions League final, where Esperance awaited. The first leg was played in Tunis on December 2. Despite Hearts' reputation as the side that usually bullies their opponent, Esperance proved to be a tougher nut to crack. Backed by a charged home crowd, the Tunisian giants took the game to them and deservedly drew first blood in the 36th minute through winger Ali Zitouni. The hunter became the hunted. Hearts were completely overwhelmed at this point. As confidence was sapping, diffidence was heightening. Wayward passes, sloppy defending, and a lack of urgency characterized their play. A look at Attuquayefio's face depicted a worried man. The moment was slowly slipping away, and the halftime whistle was the only thing that could save the situation. And it did. Some say that Esperance were complacent. Others also hold that Hearts just needed an awakening. Whatever the situation was, things began to take a different turn after the break. According to Amankwa Mriku, Attuquayefio used the halftime break to remind the players of the historic moments before them, while nudging them about the numerous comebacks they had successfully pulled off before that game in Tunis. And with that went all the nerves, panic replaced by anger and hunger.
That time, you see, we have played to a certain level that even when we are playing and we are down by one, that we see it as even a motivation. We see it as even a kind of you know, making us angry or something to perform above our ability. And so for me, yes, though we're down by one, we know we have done. We have been in that situation before. We have done it before, and therefore we can do the comeback.
Rather than try to match Esperance's intensity, as they had unsuccessfully done throughout the first half, Attuquayefio set his side to slow things down, take the sting out of the game, and play on the counter. It was a complete departure from his philosophy, but in that moment, it was never going to matter. All that mattered was staying in the game. The conservative approach turned out to be a masterstroke. 7 minutes after the restart, Haas restored parity thanks to a swift counter-attacking move which ended with Ismail Ado prodding the ball home. The equalizer rattled Esperance. Haas completed the turnaround in the 79th minute against the run of play when Attuquayefio and substitute Emmanuel Ajogu combined beautifully, the latter going past the Esperance goalkeeper before setting up the former to tap the ball home from close range.
Well, great chance, Kafur! The substitute Emmanuel Ajogu skipping round Chokri, and Kafur has a second goal for Hearts of Oak. Well, they've withstood more than a storm. They've stared into the face of an Esperance hurricane.
In a game where many gave Hearts very little chance, where they had lost talisman Amankwam Reku to a 65th minute red card, where they had to come from a goal down, where they had to survive an intimidating home crowd, where they had to abandon their accustomed attacking philosophy, Attuquayefio and the 64 Battalions managed to pull off a surprise 2-1 win, far away in Tunisia, and at a ground where Esperance hadn't lost in over 3 decades.
I mentioned at half-time they'd be happy to take 1-0 back to Accra. 1-0 down, that is, but 2-1 up. Right, a handoff. Here is Emmanuel Kafur, and this time Chokri with a good save.
That was drama, but the real theatre show was reserved for the second leg in Accra.
Take nothing away from Hearts of Oak achievement if they manage to do it. It looks like they're going to.
Just like in Tunis, Esperance opened the scoring when they visited the Accra Sports Stadium a fortnight later. Playing at home, Attuquayefio threw everything at his opponents, but Esperance held firm. The usually lethal Ismail Ado and Attuquayefio were having a hard time, while Charles Taylor was completely marked out. The longer the game stretched, the more frustrated the home fans became. They had done their part by filling the 40,000 capacity stadium to see Haas lift the Champions League, but their team was having a hard time on the pitch, and the visitors were one more goal away from breaking millions of rainbow hearts. By the 73rd minute, Attuquayefio had desperately made all 3 changes, bringing on Emmanuel Ajogu, Edmond Copson, and Ousmanu Amadou for the struggling Charles Alute, Ajatete, and Charles Taylor respectively. Veteran journalist Fifi Bansen was on commentary duty during the second leg of that CAF Champions League final, and what he saw when the Haas players walked out of their dressing room after the halftime break, despite trailing, was the purest form of arrogant confidence and poise.
I can tell you that for those who knew the team, nobody panicked because we're coming home to Accra. Oh, nobody panicked. Nobody panicked one bit. Goalkeeper Chokri himself, when he saw the crowd in the Accra Sports Stadium, he panicked, And we didn't panic because we knew what the boys could do. We knew. If you look into their faces, I remember very well that I was in the dressing room hallway when the boys had lined up and ready to come out of the pitch. I was running commentary then, and I saw their faces, and I told somebody that, listen, this game has a lifting the trophy. There was no panic because we knew that the 64 boys would demolish them. Everybody knew we would bounce. So long as the referee hasn't ended the game, we knew we would bounce. And that's exactly what happened.
Esperance's narrow lead meant the scoreline was 2-2 on aggregate, heading into the final 10 minutes. It would turn out to be the most animated 10 minutes in the history of any CAF Champions League final. There were riots, goals, a red card, brawls, and blood. An ostentatious spectacle for the fans, this was a highly tempestuous and arduous encounter for the players involved, one which demanded that they left everything on the pitch. Minutes earlier, there had been a long break in play, almost 20 minutes, after a mystery police officer lobbed tear gas into the crowd, nearly marring the game. Then there was Esperance goalkeeper Chokri El Ua, who in the midst of the melee cut himself in the face with a bottle in a bid to fool the referee. Interestingly, there were numerous brawls within that period, with Esperance defender Walid Aziez consequently receiving his marching orders. Although the home side was technically on course to win the Champions League on away goals due to their 2-1 win in the first leg, the tension in the stadium was palpable as the minutes ticked. On the bench, Attuquayefio couldn't sit. He was pacing on the touchline and barking out instructions to his players. In the stands, fans were sitting on tenterhooks with bated breaths and hands in mouths. Haas left it late, but the three substitutes had a desired impact, freeing up Ado and Attuquayefio to wreak havoc at the other end. And it was the latter who eventually pulled Haas level, volleying home with the outside of the boots in the 83rd minute. 6 minutes later, the stadium was sent into a frenzy, rainbow colors flying in every corner, after Attuquayefio struck again to make it 2-1 in favor of the Phobians.
This is Gafford for the Champions League, surely now! And that's the goal that does it for Hearts of Oak. And let's hope the joy of the fans in Accra will override the farce of what we've seen in the last quarter of an hour or so. Smiles on faces everywhere.
At this point, it was evident that the Champions League was finally coming to Accra. However, the celebrations had barely begun when Ado added a third in the 90th minute to seal the result and end Haas's test for continental glory.
Well, Gafford, Ajay and Gafford, probably the two outstanding players, goalkeeper and striker. Gafford plays it in, looking towards Ado. 3-1, no question now, 5-2 on aggregate, and I think we might get the celebration from Ismail Ado.
The comeback was complete. Attuquayefio and his 64 battalions had finally done it. They had won an improbable treble, thanks to an emphatic 5-2 aggregate victory over Esperance, and it came just before the club's 90th anniversary. Coach Ebenezer Sefa believes the club's triumph was written in the stars.
I think that the fighting spirit was there, and as I've said about the mentality of Attuquayefio, what he impacted on his players. Yes, an away game, they went down, and then they fought back. Even at Accra Sports Stadium, where the goalkeeper felt that it was being difficult for them, he has to get himself injured, and then probably CAF will come in. But it didn't work for them. But as folk were poised, Ismail Ado was on fire, the general was there, so Stephen Tete and Ajimandu Amankwambeku, they were on fire, and there was no way House of Folk were going to see that trophy at Accra Sports Stadium and they won't lift it.
For Charles Taylor, winning the CAF Champions League was more than just a dream. It meant everything.
I'm proud because me, for instance,
Walking out as a Champions League winner was a proud moment for me. I never thought I would even have the opportunity to play for a big club like Attuquayefio because I'm from a poor family and I only found myself in the capital by chance. So I had to grab the opportunity with both hands. Looking back, I still feel very proud because whenever I walk on the streets, people still sing my name. I played in a time when a good name was better than riches.
What does it? Sana ye time no net ye. Ne ye pedi no, esi ehunya.
Unmatched domestically and insurmountable on the continent, Haas proved to be a Thanos in their own galaxy. Such was the greatness of this team that many believed they would have gone all the way in the FIFA Club World Cup had the competition not been cancelled that year.
If you look at the gap at that time, no wonder they went into Africa and they conquered Africa, because clubs like Esperance, El Ahly, Zamalek, and all of those teams could not match Attuquayefio. Look, don't forget, in that year, CNN ranked Attuquayefio the 8th best club in the world. Where was Zamalek? Where was El Ahly? Where was Awak? Where was all these teams? You know, but they ranked Attuquayefio 8th best club in the world. So that tells you that the Unfortunately, there was no Club World Cup in that year. Hearts could have shocked a lot of teams in the Club World Cup, but it never happened. I mean, winning the Club World Cup is not simple, but they could have made an impression. I mean, you're going to be playing against all sorts of teams. The atmosphere, the environment, but the quality of the team that they had, they could have made a very good impression.
A fourth major trophy, however, immediately followed when the Phobians defeated Zamalek 2-0 to win the CAF Super Cup 2 months later. Hearts were subsequently rated as the 8th best club in the world by CNN and World Soccer in their weekly chart, while Attuquayefio was named CAF Coach of the Year.
We got to a stage when we won the African Cup, and thereafter that Hearts of Oak was not only playing football, but was making a statement. The club moved from merely playing football to a club which makes a statement. I mean, when you see the team coming, you are even afraid. There was a time that people even have to beg us how many goals we should score them. Yes. And I remember in a match in Tanzania, African Cup, when we got there, in the evening they came to tell us that look, they know they can't show, we should just take it coolly with them.
As Hearts of Oak mark another anniversary this year, trying to describe Attuquayefio and the 64 battalions with words alone doesn't do justice to how great they were. Those who watched them play are unanimous in declaring that they are beyond even the most exaggerated superlatives. This was a team that was so good, its arrogance on the pitch looked so cool. The 64 battalions silenced critics, trailed fans, and lifted every trophy in sight. They wrought a dominance that had never been seen before, and that would take years to be witnessed again on these shores. For this was a team and a manager of a generation. Hearts of Oak, Jones Attuquayefio and the Treble-Winning 64 Battalions is a Sporty FM production. It was written and narrated by me, Emmanuel Ayamga. Produced by Emmanuel Andam and Samuel Anan. The mix engineer is Moses Yeboah and the managing editor is Gary Al-Smith.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. 8:49. Wonderful story. Wow. This took me back to the year 2000, right? 99, 2000. Remember, I followed the CAF Champions League campaign. It was on television at the time. Emmanuel Ayamga with this wonderful story. It's like we hop into a time capsule and we go back in time to relive the glory days of Accra Hearts of Oak. Hearts of Oak, Jones Attuquayefio and the Treble-Winning 64 Battalion. A wonderful story put together by my colleague, Emmanuel Ayamga. You can find this on our Spotify, Sporty Stories. You can find it. So for Hearts of Oak fans, this is what you need to be listening to today. This is what you need to be listening to today. Emmanuel Ayamga is joining us. Emmanuel, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Nathan. I'm good.
Wonderful. Great story. Congrats on putting this story together. It's one of the most fantastic Ghanaian footballing stories of all time, right? When you talk about Ghana football and the wins, this is part of it. This is really, really part of it. Just take us through the process of piecing this story together, what you had to go through, the ups and downs, how much footage you probably had to watch.
So I think yesterday I came here and I was ranting to you off air that I had lost some files that I needed for this feature. And it tells how, like, the effort that went into it. It was a collective effort from myself and a lot of people. Immortal Attuquayefio helped. There was Emmanuel Andam. There's also Samuel Annan. I mean, those were my producers for this feature. And it's something I had wanted to do. I spoke to our features editor, Kawawa, about a month ago.
Yeah.
And he said he wanted us to come up with something to commemorate House of Folk's 114th anniversary. So I said, okay, because I had already done a feature like that in writing, not on radio, because obviously it's my first time working in radio. But for online, I had done something similar like this. So I said, okay, it was okay. I just needed to find fresh voices and then people who really were there at the time to be able to speak to what the team was like and how good they were at the time. Because I was very young, 2001, probably I was 6-7 years old at the time. So I didn't really watch that team play that much. But I needed to tell it from the versions of people who were there, who saw them play, and those who played for the team as well. And that was the start of it. But I think the good thing about it is that most of them are still alive. The players. So I got to speak to Charles Taylor, who, he's always open to speaking about the 64 Battalion. There were some who didn't want to speak about the team because they felt a bit disgruntled about how they'd been treated by the club since they won the treble. I don't want to mention them, but there are a few of them who feel like the club has not treated them so well, even though they were part of the squad that won the treble. But also there were a few who were willing to speak, like Yawaman Kwamriku, who was very gracious in adding his voice to this feature. He gave me a lot, to the extent that he was even singing. I didn't know there was a version of Amankwa Miriku that could sing like that.
I see.
But he said, Attuquayefio was a guy who liked to inspire the boys by letting them sing. And he sang Attuquayefio's favorite song.
All things are possible. And I'll tell you a story. About that. Now, in the year 2002, Hearts of Oak beat Asante Kotoko 3-0 at the stadium, right? For those who remember, it was the now infamous Yenko dressing room game. Now, the context of the game was that Kotoko had, there was some speculation. They said Hearts had gone to do juju in the dressing room. They wouldn't go there. Whatever. So this story was told to me and a couple of others by Natlai and Nat. Good morning, wherever you are. And correct me if I don't get some details of the story correct. And he did say that prior to the game, right, before they were in the dressing room, and then Jones asked them to sing this particular song with a lot of verve and gusto whilst the Kotoko players were in the tunnel. And according to Natlai, it rattled the Kotoko players so much that they were not themselves in that first half. And by the time they realized what was happening, Hearts had scored 3 first half goals. The pitch of the goal being Bernard Dombote, I remember he scored was cut onto his right foot, curled it from outside the box, and it was 3-0 Hearts of Oak. So anyway, apologies for that. It was just a bit of a digression.
That team has so many stories.
When did all this happen?
What?
When did all
this one? The Yenko dressing room. The Yenko dressing room was 2002.
Oh wow, I wasn't born then.
Yeah.
But that team was really good. It was a team with so many great players, so many big characters in the dressing room, and they had everything. If you look at that front three of Charles Taylor, Emmanuel Sekufo, and then Ishmael Ado, I don't think we've had that in any Ghana Premier League side to date. I mean, they were just so good, and the way they matched each other's energy, the kind of talent that they had. I don't think we've had any team that had that kind of front three, and it was more like a cheat code. If you speak to those who watched them, they were thinking, how did Hearts get this team? And then you look at the bench as well, they had players who were equally competent. They could come on and then affect the games. And when I spoke to Fifi Bansin, our senior colleague here, and he was on commentary for that second leg in the CAF Champions League final against Esperance, and he said he watched when Hearts were down by a goal at halftime. They were walking back into the second half. When they were walking through the tunnel, he said when he watched their faces, he just knew. It wasn't by what they were doing on the pitch, because they were down obviously, but when he looked at their faces, he just saw a team that was so determined, and the kind of arrogance that they were coming onto the pitch with. If he, as a commentator, he saw it and it shook him. Imagine the opponent seeing that in front of the players. So I think the aura around that team was just so great, and I'm happy they won the treble. We want to see more teams do that, but it shows that it's not really easy for you to achieve that kind of feat, and that's why we've not had any team, not just from Ghana but from West Africa, coming close to winning the treble.
Wonderful. So when all of this was coming. Just tell me, for example, some of the difficulties in getting people to interview. You did say that some of them were not available. That's okay. Those who were available, what were some of the changes? What were some of the challenges you faced trying to get them to go on record or coordinating interviews or all of that? Because they were willing to speak, but I'm sure you still had to get all of them to sit and talk to you.
Yeah, so for Yaman Kwamiriku, he was supposed to come in studio early this week, but then he couldn't. So I had to do it via phone. And he was also, where he was, if you listen to it, you realize there were a bit of noises behind. The ambience wasn't really that good, but Moses did well by, working on it and making it sound good on radio. But he was somewhere, but he accepted to do it. So we had to speak through the noise that was going on behind him. There was music playing. He was also distracted at some point, but he was very gracious in granting that interview. And he gave me a lot of information, because obviously he played for the team. He was 20 years old at the time, playing at right back, later became captain of the team. Yep. And so he was one of the star players of that team. Then for the Charles Taylor interview, Immortal did it. Shout out to Immortal. He conducted the Charles Taylor interview, so I just had to, cut the parts that I wanted and then use it for the interview. And then, like I said also, there were some players that I thought were key players in that squad, and I thought their voices would have, gone a long way to help people appreciate the achievements of the team at the time. But when I reached out, some said they weren't ready to speak because they felt they were a bit disgruntled by how the club had treated them since they won the treble. They said, I told them I was doing it in commemoration of the club's 114th anniversary, and yet some said even though the anniversary was coming up, nobody from the club had reached out to them to speak to them, and so they didn't feel like they wanted to be a part of that celebration. So those were some of the bottlenecks in gathering interviews for this piece. But I think it was a good one, and I'm grateful to those who availed themselves to speak to me and to my other colleagues who worked on this feature.
Wonderful. Emmanuel Ayamga, great stuff with that story. Did you have to watch any footage?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Which of the games did you?
I watched that Champions League final. There are highlights on YouTube. Yes, there are also extended versions of what happened. I wanted to see, when they said goalkeeper Chokri, the goalkeeper.
Yes, Chokri allowed. Yes.
There was a part in the game where he took a bottle and slashed his face in a bit to get our players, the House of Folk players, red carded. And I wanted to see that footage. I couldn't find it though. But for those who were there, everybody attested to the fact that he was overwhelmed. He knew they were going to lose, and he wanted to just do something to distract the game.
For context, can you just explain to people how this even degenerated into this episode of tear gas, and because it was in that window that the goalkeeper cut himself?
Yeah. So at a point in the game, there was a melee. It was more like a melee between the Hearts players and then the Esperance players, based on the narrations from those who were there at the time. And apparently, House of Folk had come back and they were on their way to, overturning that 1-0 deficit and then winning the Champions League, and they had won the first leg 2-1.
Yes.
They were back in Ghana, and the game was 1-1 then. So there was a melee between the players, and then when the referee was trying to separate them, there were fights, there were brawls and all that. Esperance also had a red card in between those times. And then the goalkeeper tried to get one House of Folk player sent off. So in order to do that, he couldn't find, because the match, they were losing, so what could he do? So apparently he took a bottle and then slashed his face. So there was blood on his face, and then went to the referee and told the referee, look at what they've done to my face, so that he would red card the House of Folk player. But yet, I think the referee read through whatever was happening, so he saw it, and then he waved it off. He knew it was the goalkeeper that did it by himself. But I think it was a weird thing to do. I don't know what was happening at the time, but for people to go those lengths just to win games, it's a bit surprising for me.
Wonderful, great. So Hearts of Oak, the year 2000. This was really the peak of their powers, right? And for those who do not know, they did win the treble. I am gonna tell us about the other two bits they won, the league and cup. Just quickly.
So, to put into perspective how good they were, they won in the first round. They played 15 games in the first round. They won 14 out of 15 and drew just one. By week 20, they had already won the league. So the final 10 games of the season, they were just playing it. They were playing with a fringe side, rotating and then playing with a side. So they now focused on the FA Cup and the CAF Champions League. And people say they could have actually gone unbeaten. There's actually a hard side that has gone unbeaten in the Ghana Premier League. They didn't win the league though. They went unbeaten, but then they lost the league to Asante Kotoko. it's another story that will be told another day. And that's a special squad. They were also part of this same, but then those were the squad that came after the 64 Battalion. And then so this one, they were so good that they could have gone unbeaten, but because they had already won the league, they took their foot off the gas in the league and focused on the FA Cup and then the CAF Champions League. And then in the FA Cup run, they beat Ukro United in the final to win it.
Wonderful. So Hearts winning the CAF Champions League in the year 2000. Today we are celebrating them. We are celebrating them, and we are ensuring that we go back in time. So Emmanuel, I'm sure for you, I'm sure you must have been imagining things in your mind's eye because you were quite young.
Oh yeah, I was. And I always say this, that when I was young, you know, Hearts of Oak were like, because I grew up in Letebia Okoshi, around the Shukura area, and Hearts was that club. When they win games, we didn't know what was happening though, but we would see, you know, adults running, Sheen, Jama around, and we'll be just following them. So they were that club. They had that aura. They had people who were supporting them religiously. So I got to know about House when I was very young, and I followed the club a while. When I started following football when I was growing up, it was Liberty first, and then Hearts of Oak, because obviously they were the clubs in the capital. So if I didn't go to Nansouman to watch a game, I'll go to the Accra Sports Stadium to watch it.
Okay.
And so yeah.
Wonderful. George Refson, our colleague journalist. Okay, so he sent some correction. So the 2002 drubbing was when Herbert. So I think Herbert had two stints because the first part of Hearts of Oaks winning 6 on the row, Herbert won a couple of titles, I think, or he won just before 96. I'm not too sure. And then he said the late Jones was responsible for beating Asante Kotoko 4-0 in the year 2000. I remember that game too. That game, I think that game was on telly, or it was later put on television. And a lot of Kotoko fans are still very upset by losing 4-0 to Hearts of Oak.
And that game was in the treble-winning season. They dismantled them. I mean, when I was speaking to Fifth Bansin, it wasn't part of the feature though, but he said his words were that it wasn't even a contest. And he said that Kotoko team, it wasn't like it was a bad side.
That Kotoko team was no slouch.
It was a solid team, and yet Hearts made them look like they were ordinary.
Yeah, I remember Kenneth Sapon scored one of the 4. There were other players in there. Wonderful. If you're a Hearts of Oak fan, please go on to Spotify and find this to listen to. Hearts of Oak, the Jones Attuquayefio and the treble-winning 64 Battalion. You will love it. So, Emmanuel, finally, what was your favorite part in putting this entire story together? Which part struck you the most, that you found the most pleasing or the most interesting?
My favorite part was just listening to these legends narrate some of them, and then listening to Yaman Kwamiriku sing. I mean, that part of the interview was so nice, and I was just imagining, you know, him, because he's now old, obviously, but him in his 20s, you know, with all that energy, singing in the dressing room with their coach and all that. And I was like, okay, I wish that I was there at the time to witness it live.
You know, I watched that game. So the entire campaign was on telly.
Yeah.
So I watched that campaign from start to finish. Hearts were in that group with Lobby Stars and Jean d'Arc and whichever team it was. I'll check.
Lobby Stars, Jean d'Arc, and Alali.
Alali, I remember. So Hearts went to Elahli. So this was towards the end of the group stage. Hearts went to Elahli to go and cause a problem there. They drew 1-1. I think Hearts scored first or something. And I remember the cameraman took a shot of one of the technical team members of the Elahli squad on the touchline. He looked so stressed. And I was watching with my dad, and my dad said, come on. And I can hear Raymond.
I think that footage was similar to, you know, when Hakimi going there was this picture of a PSG staff who was holding a phone and calling. I don't know if you've seen that picture, but it was similar to that scene.
I don't know if you have something to
you
say.
know, during that time, a few people were very popular around that time. A few people were the key cogs in that House of Oak. Harry Zako.
And who? Alaji Hart. Farah
Zouk. But Bese Manche. Bese Manche.
Mr. Tommy
Okan. That's the name. That's his name.
Yeah, and as Thompson mentioned him.
Yes. Actually. So Bese Manche was the key driver. So when Tommy Okan says let's pass here, that is where they pass. It was the club's everything. You see, Nathan, when I say everything, yeah, I mean everything. And the fans even had a song for Harry Zako. So, you know, Nathan, I told you people sold meat pie to make that club stand on its feet.
That's for you.
So the fans had this song. Harry Zako meat pie. Harry Zako.
La 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 la. Sing the song.
I don't know the song.
Harry Zako meat pie. See, the fan, you feel like call the boys will tell you. When you eat Harry Zako meat pie, Harry Zako meat pie. That was what was pushing Hearts of Oak that time. You see, that's why I always tell you that, look, people invested in Hearts of Oak not because they wanted returns in terms of player sales or, you know, the club giving them back their money. But they invested because they wanted to see the club
prosper,
win.
Yeah.
You know, they kept investing. They just wanted to see the club win things, win laurels. So if you look at the two eras, post the Harry Zako era, the club you would say has seen a lot more money possibly coming, but it's not brought the results that Harry Zako and his likes, even with their small resources or, you know, practically working over dead bodies to raise funds to run the club. Okay, you look at the success in terms of those areas. I mean, a lot, so much has changed, and that's why some of us are of the view that, look, Hearts of Oak have to pause. Is it the scouting? Is it the player quality? Is it the choice of players? I mean, Hearts of Oak would have to pause and look at all of these things again, because, you know, back then, the kind of players Hearts of Oak won the Champions League with, these were players who had a combination of everything: experience, quality, mentality. They had everything. Nathan, you can't say the same for today's players. Nathan, look at a goalkeeper like Samidi. Then you talk about Dankwe,
Sporty FM,
Jacob Neti, Stephen Tete, Yaman Kwameku, Edmond Copsey.
Edmond Copsey used to score long range just for the fun of it.
Emmanuel Kufo, Ismail Ado, Emmanuel Ajogu, Charles Alute. Nathan, these were the boys who. These were the boys. And I mean, today, you look at Hearts of Oak, you don't find character. You don't see determination on the face of the players. You don't see that hunger. Nathan, I mean, for those of us who grew up watching Hearts of Oak, you know, in those days, the glory days, what we saw made us fall in love with the club. Okay. If today a young man growing up is watching Hearts of Oak, that boy would watch the football of Hearts of Oak, possibly watch Chelsea play, watch Man United play, watch Man City play, and say, oh, I love Man City, because he's impressed with what he's seeing there. He may not fall in love with Hearts of Oak the way we fell in love with Hearts of Oak and Kotoko back in the days. So that is how these two clubs continue losing fans, because the quality is not there anymore. You can't see the quality in terms of even the style, the football they are playing. You can't see the passing. And these boys, these 64 boys, these 64 battalion boys, the passing they played with. Nathan, have you seen that? Have you seen Hearts of Oak and Kotoko players show that in recent times? Passing, pure passion. I remember there was one Hearts of Oak player, Achimendua. He was a defender. Had his head bandaged.
Rambo. Achimendua.
Like, you know, he still wants to continue the game. Today we'll say injury.
Oh, by that, so are you saying that if you are injured, you should play?
Oh, Nathan. Oh, I try you to a match. Bandage at your back. You are heading balls. You are going into duels. Like, we used to see that. But today they'll say, oh, the rules of the game have to protect you, you know. But that was what, you see, that was what we used to see back then. And that's what I'm saying. Look, today it's after Hearts of Oak's birthday. You should go back to the drawing board. Go and sit down. Back then, I'm not sure they had the money they have today. Back then, Harry Zako's time, Charlie, it was bus stop that was running the Hearts of Oak. And then the millionaires who are around, Fawaz Zok and Co, has Alaji Hats, who are bringing their contributions just to run the club. Today, when you have a proper structure, where shares have been floated, people are bankrolling the club with funds from bottomless pits. Today, House of Folk cannot bring quality to their food. House of Folk cannot boast of one big name that today we can all go to the stadium and say we are coming to watch the game because of this guy. And Nathan, Edwin Copson, he had a unique color.
It was fair.
Oh, come on. When Edwin Copson is on the pitch, now Copson. You know, like Dr. Panier. That's Stephen Tete, right?
Dr. Panier is in Yati.
Okay. He came later. But Stephen Tete had a name. He had some nickname like that. You know, and all the Hearts players, you could identify them with one nickname or the other. Rambo. You know, but today, even Ajogu, who was not your star boy, he had his moment in games.
Yeah. Coming off the bench, score crucial goals.
Ismail Ado. Serial killer, that's how they were.
The serial killer was Dombotti.
Charlie, no, what was Ismail Ado's nickname? He had some nickname.
He had a nickname.
He had
a nickname.
But you see, even Dombotti, you remember serial killer? I remember. Today,
and Charles Taylor was the terror.
Today, show me one House of Folk player and his nickname.
SM. Is it not true?
Emmanuel Kufo. Did I remember Emmanuel Kufo?
Yeah.
Had things with the Black Star. The general.
The first general before Kosi.
No.
Yes, true. The first general before Kosi.
Lawrence Ajatete.
Yeah.
Did I remember players? Charlie. Today, I don't know if it's the quality across border has dropped. But, I mean, a lot of water has gone under the bridge. And I think the House of Folk would have to look at themselves again if they want to be at the same level as the Ali's. You know, Ali has since gone past House of Folk since the 2000s. Far. When really House of Folk should have been at that level. So when we are talking about Club World Cup, there's House of Folk there. Okay, this one they went to play, this World Cup like this. Consistent performance would have gotten House of Folk there. Would have gotten Kotoko there. But maybe it's the understanding of football these days. Maybe we understand football as, let's play football, survive in the Ghana Premier League, win a few Mickey Mouse titles here and there, and then that's it. But the bigger picture should be conquering Africa. Maybe that hunger is not there anymore. Or maybe the owners of the club are not looking at that picture anymore. Maybe. So, Nathan, maybe we are expecting too much. And the vision of the owners today does not get to where we want them to, what we are expecting from them. Maybe that could be the explanation. But otherwise, Nathan, with this current investment, House of Folk should be doing way better. But we wish them well. It's their birthday. I hope that they go back and sit down and try and see how best they can restructure their team, redevelop their team. So Ismailado, baby assassin. Thank you, Ismailado, baby assassin. Thank you very much, Jojo FC. Baby assassin. Today show me one Ghana Premier League player and show me his nickname.
Are you sure? You want us to
don't repeat SM.
Are you sure you want us to get into player nickname?
You know, so you know, even the nickname alone, it strikes fear in defenders. Baby assassin. And Ismailado is that good?
Yes, Ismailado was really good.
It was good.
Really good.
In fact, when I spoke to Fifi, he said for him personally, he feels like Ismailado is like the greatest striker of his generation, even ahead of Asamoah Gyan, although he didn't really have a national team career as good as Asamoah.
Ismailado's goal scoring ability, it was crazy. And what he had about him was a calmness. He was always cool in the box. He's not flustered, he's not worried. One of my favorite Ismailado goals. So there are two Ismailado goals that I like. One is tinged with a lot of dark memories because it was it the first goal he scored against Kotoko May 9.
The May 9 one, the winner or the.
I can't remember, but the pass comes through. He rounds the goalkeeper and scores from this angle.
That was the first one.
That's the equalizer. That's what made it 1-1.
Yeah.
My other favorite is Melado goal. I don't know which team it was at Accra Sports. I don't know whether it was against Okowu. A cross comes in from the right? So he's running into the box. The cross comes in. So the ball almost like goes behind him. And he turns and swivels to follow the motion of the ball and scores, like cuts it back across the goalkeeper with his left foot. I hadn't seen anything like that in my young life when I was watching it. That's how good it's made. And I loved him. Because in football, the players I love the most are the strikers. I love goal scorers. So I used to love Michael Owen, R9, and Ishmaelado. I don't think I had seen 3 scorers like them in my life before.
Yeah.
Right. So
Ishmaelado was that good. I mean, you look at the numbers, 64 and 71. Charlie, that's Haaland stats.
You know, we should have you should be able to get tapes of some of these things, right?
Yeah.
I think he scored 19 in his debut, first senior season with House of Hope, 21 and then 22. So it was crazy.
So that's
and to think he was drafted into the House of Hope first team right from under 17.
Yes.
So he wasn't like he was a mature player who came into the team. He came in as a very young player who was also fledgling.
Yes.
And settled seamlessly to become a key player. And I think one of the things that I liked about that team was how they were recruiting the players as well. They have to, and when you talk about, you see, people think maybe now there's a structure, so you have a scout. But these were people who were scattered across the country. They had people who were recommending those players to them because they didn't have eyes everywhere.
Yeah.
So you look at the story of Emmanuel Sekufo when he was coming from Dwarfs. I mean, I don't know whether people know their backstory though, but there's a whole backstory behind him. You know, he played for Dwarfs, but then he was also a tough talker. You know, he was somebody he used to talk very, very big. So apparently, I was told that Hearts fans didn't want him to join Hearts because they felt like he was talking against the club when he was playing for Dwarfs. He was saying, "Oh, Hearts will not be able to to pay him." You know, those kind of rivalry talks.
Yeah.
And so when they wanted to sign him, the fans said, "Nah, they won't agree." So what the Hearts hierarchy did was that they sneaked him into training for him to train with them. And so they hit him, and then he played his first game and then scored and assisted. And the fans who were saying they didn't want him, they were carrying him sky high. They want him. And there's a similar story for Attuquayefio as well. You know, he has an Olympics background.
Yeah.
And has an Olympics that time, the rivalry was so strong. So initially, they wanted to hire him in 1995. And then they took him to training to go and observe a few things. And the fans were like, Jim, and then you know me and the trouble like joining war. And at the time, I heard when he was playing his playing career, people forget that he also played football.
He played.
He actually won the AFCON with Ghana.
Yes.
In 1965. So Attuquayefio was a complete guy, you know, a player, coach, he was everything. And when he was playing at the time for Olympics,
he played for Olympics too.
Yeah, Olympics. And he was one of the players at Olympics who were, you know, spiteful towards Hearts. He accepted the rivalry and so he spoke against it. Anytime he was speaking, and apparently there was this story in a Daily Graphic at the time where he had spoken some foul words against Hearts. And so when he went to the training, somebody brought the paper actually to show it to them that this is what he said when he was playing for Olympics, so don't hire him. So at the time, you know, it became a bit rowdy, so they had to ditch the idea for a while. And then 2 years later, when they were still not going any further in Africa, they realized we needed a guy, so they brought him. And I mean, when you talk about Attuquayefio now, House of Oak accept him even more than Olympics, where he came from. He's an Olympics boy, true and true.
Yeah.
And yet, House of Oak became like the club that he's known for. So I think these stories, you know, it's special that we are, and those ones are in the feature, so people should go and listen and then
the feature.
Let's have their comments on it.
Yeah. So some comments have come through. It's 9:19. Some comments have come through. This one says, I have to say, Ayanga has created a real masterpiece. Listening to the Hearts of Oak story brought back so much nostalgia there. Brought back so much nostalgia. Charlie, I pray we are able to revive the love we once had for the local game. There's hope. Great work, Sporty FM. I've got work to do, but I'm so hooked. I can't stop listening to you guys. Kweku from Bournemouth. Kweku, thank you so much for tuning in. We really, really appreciate that. Some more messages. We'll open the phone lines in a bit. What a great piece put together. Congrats to your guy, that's Ayamga. Bediako from Tema sent that. And this one says, you see why Glorious Hearts of Oak is always about the past. That's where the Jews day. I can bet you if those iconic jerseys are sold now, they will get sold. I still maintain my stance as an old Hearts of Oak.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means, man. Yeah, Okuni sent that to us. He put this particular message like this. Anyway. Anyway, 9:20. Let's take some calls. 054 257 1061. 054 257 1061. If you're a Hearts of Oak fan, give us a call. I don't know what you've got to tell the club, or if you were there in the year 2000 witnessing Hearts doing big things. Let me know. You have a caller.
No, Nathan, wait. You are explaining, you are narrating some white handkerchief matter.
The white handkerchief, I'm coming.
Is that what you were trying to do on Sunday?
I don't, probably. It didn't work.
But Attuquayefio used to have a white handkerchief.
Yes, always. Yeah. Let me take this caller. Hello,
Nathan, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Nathan, today I'm calling you from Amount Room.
You're calling us from Amount Room?
Yes, Amount Room on the Dodo.
Okay, no problem.
So, Nathan, I'm a Kotoka fan, but, I'm not going to play, any mischief here. As a folk really make me cry. I remember that Confederations Cup final, like, Nathan, that was my first time I couldn't eat after a football game.
2005 in January.
The thing told me well. He told me well, Nathan. He told me well. And, it's rather unfortunate that, our local game has not been relevant and, going to the stadium is feeling. Nathan, now that I'm a fully grown man that I can even afford to pay for VIP and then do everything like on my own, Nathan. See where when I'm Sporty. So you see, I was at the stadium this Sunday. I apparently wanted to come to the VIP so that maybe I could come close to you guys, but I love the feeling in the popular stand as well. So I always pray that our clubs will bounce back, and happy birthday to Accra as a whole. But they shouldn't forget that we score them when we put pepper in their eyes. We serve them a salted cake. You understand?
Okay.
We score them a cake. The entire walk a come on with some birthday party. Next time we pay you on betting the back. So Charlie, kudos to you guys and kudos to Emmanuel Ayanga for putting up this season. We really enjoy the conversation and everything. So
all right.
Kudos to you guys.
All right, Otufo, thank you so much. 923 054 257 1061. Accra of Oka 114 yesterday. We decided to put together this wonderful feature to celebrate their glorious. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Good morning, Nathan.
Yes, good morning.
Charlie, Accra of Oka.
Okay.
Attuquayefio. Wow. Attuquayefio what about Sunday? Monday starts with JP. In the Moje. Attuquayefio. I'm not going to Charlie. You actually Tepephobia. You don't know what I say. Okay. Wow.
I see. Okay, you are done, coach. 924.
Charlie, look, this were happening then. This were happening then. Today you won't get this.
You won't get
excitement.
And yesterday you should have seen Aziz Aruna Futa here.
Yeah, he was talking about that.
He nearly swore on radio. Like he said when you watch that team, like them, and you see this like 20-21 years ago.
Yeah.
Still, Charlie.
It's great stuff. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Nathan, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
This is Osben.
Okay, please go ahead.
Wonderful piece by Ayanga. Funny enough, growing up, I was supporting House of Folk, but I don't know what happened. I ditched House to Kotoko. I don't know what happened.
You ditched House?
Yeah, I don't know what happened because I watched the 2000 CAF Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first game against El Ali in Accra Sports Stadium where they played 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
So, amazing. This piece has brought memories,
mm-hmm.
and this is what we were expecting our local clubs to be giving us. But now, the interest is not even there to even go to the stadium. I hope with this
the so-called big clubs that is Attuquayefio has will give us something to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
As Raymond said, Club World Cup, and then we have Club of the Century and Intercontinental Club Masters not participating.
Mm-hmm.
So they should learn. We love our game. We love our local game.
Mm-hmm.
So they should do well to improve. Big ups to you guys and have a good morning.
All right. Thank you so much. 926 054 257 1061 054 257 1061. You can give us a call. You can send us a WhatsApp message too. Would love to hear from you. And you can also share your thoughts on your own memories of Accra Hearts of Oak. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Paul.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Please, Augustine here, Kaswa.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, I was, all what I want to say is that for Accra Hearts of Oak, the board, the players, whoever that have sacrificed their life for Accra Hearts of Oak, God should have blessed them.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sports.
My moment with Accra Hearts of Oak, you see, I didn't experience the 64 battalions, but then, the happiest moment in my life was the Confed Cup in, I think, 2004, 2005?
It was January 2005.
Okay. The return leg in Kumasi.
Mm-hmm.
See, by then, as a young guy, sorry to say, I've lost my mom.
Oh, too bad. Have our sympathies.
Yeah, sorry. Few months later, I also lost my twin. So, when it comes to mental health and all that, though I was so young, but I wasn't really happy.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Yeah. So I was existing, but I wasn't really happy. But I've always been a Hearts of Oak fan then. So during the game, at that time, we weren't having a television, so I had to move to, the neighborhood to watch the game. And trust me, when you conceded, it was terrible. But when you scored and it got to the penalties, and there was this goalkeeper, Sani Mohammed, he made some saves, and then we won the cup. You see, the community was just burning Jama, having a float around. I joined, and the feeling I had that day, it has stayed with me. It has been with me. So I was a Hearts of Oak fan before I became a football fan. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Hearts of Oak, well, God should just bless them. Anytime in my dark moments, I just watch a footage of that Confed Cup final, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy. God should bless all those people involved around that time, and trust me. Thank you, and have a wonderful morning. Yeah.
Okay, right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's interesting how, football can help you cope. He says that this was a time of personal tragedy.
Yeah.
But he says Hearts of Oak winning the Confed Cup in 2005 brought him joy. And that was also a whirlwind of a run, because
it was
Hearts,
the crop of players that time too had evolved
to
a certain extent.
Yes.
So it was another group.
Yes. But Mankwameku was still with that team.
Yes.
Dankwe was with that team.
Yeah.
Ajatete was with that team. Bernardon Bote was with that team.
Yeah, that was the new
crop.
boys,
Michael Donko, Sani Wahab. Was it Sani Wahab? The goalkeeper, I can't remember his name. All of that. And then they all got into the Confed Cup. Hearts in one group, Kosoko in the other group, and then they made the final. The first final was supposed to have been played in December 2004, but it was postponed because there was an election in Ghana at the time.
Yeah.
And so they said, you know what, let's just not do it. And in January 2005, that final was played. I think it was the first weekend or the second weekend. I'm not too sure. So the first leg, Asante Kotoko took a goal lead. Michael Osei Emba Power scored the goal. It was a shot. Sani Mohammed was the goalkeeper's name. Hearts of Oak. He spilled it. And then Michael Osei tapped it in close range, and Hearts were knocking on the door. Kotoko figured they were going to walk away with a 1-0 first leg, when only for Luis Ajiman to score in the 90th minute or so. Luis Ajiman. He was a defender, and then Middendorp converted into a forward. And then he scored the equalizer. Super footballer. And then this next game was in Kumasi. At the time, Charles Taylor had left. He had done the switch to Hearts. This was his first game against Hearts of Oak. Blah, game happening. Charles Taylor crosses the ball. Ofoswapia CID crosses it. Somebody knocks it down. Charles Taylor smashes it into the back of the net. 1-0. What a story. 1-0 Kotoko, and it's Charles Taylor who scores.
It was so poetic. Like, that finish would have been so...
And it was happening. And then, strangely, Kotoko's coach made a change, took off Charles Taylor in the most bizarre... And I'm sure, Asante Kotoko, I'm sure till today, you're asking yourself why they did what they did.
And even Charles Taylor himself.
Yeah.
He talks about that moment all the time.
You know, he gets taken off. He was roasting Hearts for fun. He gets taken off. Hearts start to come back into the game. Is it 81st minute? Corner kick.
Yeah.
Force. So it's very interesting corner kick. Yes, the ball goes somehow and it lands in the box. So the ball meets Ajatete. He traps it and blasts it into the roof of the net.
81st minute.
81st minute. 9 minutes left on the clock. Hey. Then you go into the shootout and it goes on. Amankwameku first misses for Hearts of Oak.
Yes, and Satu missed for Kotoko.
And then
they missed their first 2 kicks.
Yes. They missed their first 2 kicks.
Yes, they missed their first.
And then they
kicks.
go on and on.
And it had to be Joe Hendricks.
And then Joe Hendricks. Oh. Joe Hendricks, as he picks up the ball, walking to the spot, Charlie, he blasts his kick. It gets saved, and now it's game championship. You are serving for to borrow the tennis term. Then it is Michael Donko.
Yeah, Donko got
runs, blasts the ball into the net, and Hearts of Oak win the first ever Comfort Cup. And it's a defeat that stung a lot of Kotoko fans.
It did.
And Charles Taylor, it stung him bitterly because he had left hoping that he was going to do a number on Hearts, and then, it doesn't happen. So, for Hearts of Oak...
But the Hearts team too had some players, so there was still Dankwe in there.
Dankwe, yeah. Dankwe, when he's
Bosman.
Yeah, Francis Bosman. Jojo Bosman. When he scored his penalty kick, do you know what he did? When he scored his kick, he turned to the Kotoko fans and gestured to them that we are about to take the cup from Kumasi. In that gesture, he says, "Yeah, you are going to take the cup away."
And there was Abladi Morgan too in that Hearts team that time. He took one of the penalties. But for me, Joe Hendricks was also around that time one of the top defenders in the league.
One of the most feared.
I'm in my back. No, be near me. I say, baby, I'm a Fabio. I was Joe Hendricks.
AKA
solid defender.
His nickname was Jamie Check.
Charlie, I mean,
back then. The Pepsodent variant, the Pepsodent variant at the time was called Jeremy Check.
Yeah.
So they nicknamed Joe Hendricks
Chipsa was in that team too.
Chipsa played in that team. So that team had quality. Yeah. Michael Ofoswapia, CID.
Yeah.
I don't know if Godfrey Ebon must have played in that team.
Yeah, Godfrey Ebon was in that team. He played.
Why was he called TV3?
This was why he was called TV3. At the time, TV3 had the clearest transmission.
So Nathan, today you are talking about players and you are mentioning their nicknames and you can explain. Do something for us today.
No, I'm telling you why.
You see how we got into
I was following the league like crazy. So at the time, TV3 transmission was the clearest. They had the clearest pictures. And they said that Godfrey Debois was so clean a tackler.
Yeah.
They need Dahose TV3. It was so clear. So that's why they called him TV3.
And all the nicknames seem to fit.
The nicknames
fits into the players that they give them after.
I didn't even know. So I once asked the Kotoko fan and they explained to me why they called him TV3. So that's why he was called TV3. Godfrey Debois was a left back. Played for the Satellites in 2001. At the World Cup in Argentina. We lost our final to Argentina. Javier Sabiola's Argentina team. And all these
with the Asians.
The Asian, Derek Boateng, blah, blah, blah. So that time was, football in Ghana was wild.
Yeah, it was.
It was wild. You had Osei Kufo playing for Hearts, then he went to Kotoko. And then down the line, I remember we played a zonal league. This was Prince Tego's time. There was a zonal league. Hearts and Kotoko topped the two zones. They met in Accra for the final, and Prince Tego scored the winner 1-0. I remember that game because my mom was so excited. Hearts of Oak won. She took us out that night and treated us to drinks and kebab.
You see that.
So that was that. That was how good the league was back in the day. But all of a sudden, the league just took a very dramatic turn.
So all these players, how do we get them? And why can't we get same these days?
This is what I think. And I am just feature detailed that part about Hearts of Oak's transfer ban, right?
Yeah.
Well, can you give us a bit more?
So there was a ban at some point. So, and I think most of them said that was one of the reasons why they kept a lot of their key players, because the ban in some way made sure that they couldn't sign players. So if you can't sign, then it means you have to keep your best players. So they kept them together, and that was why they won the league about 6 times consecutively.
Yeah. Between 96 and 02, 6 straight league titles. Yeah. So that's just one team out of the lot. And all the other teams too had very good feeder clubs.
Yeah.
Colts was really popping back in the day. So the quality was coming through. Every team had 1 or 2 star players. So every clash in the Ghana Premier League at the time was a clash of 2. Even though, for example, Hearts and Kotoko were the dominant side, you knew that if Hearts were playing Goldfields, Charlie.
Yeah. And Goldfields actually won the league 3 times in the mid-90s. So they went to the final of the CAF Champions League twice in that period. So they weren't a push-over club.
The team that gave us Augustine and him. Even look, the first time the CAF Champions League was played as a competition, was 97.
Yeah.
Goldfields were in that final.
Yeah.
They had players like Ajete Lee, Samir J, the outfield player, not the goalkeeper. Other players. I don't know if Eben Hagan played. My favorite player in that team was a winger called Lawrence J. Samir J's brother, Macho.
Lawrence J.
Macho.
Yeah.
He played for Hearts of Oak. He had this knack of every time when he scored, he took off his shirt and was flexing his muscles.
Yeah, Lawrence
was a right winger.
Was a very, very good player.
Macho.
Yeah.
Scored a bicycle kick against Raja. So that was all won the first leg 1-0, and then they lost the second leg 1-0, and then they lost on penalties. And it had to be Ajimendia. Ajimendia missed his penalty.
I think they were unlucky in that era because to go to 2 finals and then losing both, and then I think that broke them. I just feel like sometimes as players when you push to some limit, so other clubs started plucking their best players, and then
moved on.
But there was something again. There was something quite strange about all those players too. After showing a lot of promise on the local scene, when the opportunity came for them to go abroad, they struggled. Esmeralda.
Yes, Esmeralda, went to Maccabi.
Yeah, moved to Bastia, then he moved to Israel, Maccabi Tel Aviv. He didn't cut it. Came back to Hearts and started scoring again. And even for Lawrence J. Lawrence J. Goldfields, Kotoko.
Macho bounced around. He came to Hearts eventually.
Yeah, then ended up at Hearts. It still didn't happen. I mean, I don't know what it was with that generation of players showing a lot of promise that time in the local scene, and when they went out, they struggled. I don't know if you tried to decode exactly what was happening around that time.
I don't know.
Even Emmanuel Osei-Kuffour. At a point went to Russia, then went to Tractor Sazi in how do you call it? Tractor Sazi is in that country, Iran. He went all the way to Iran to play. I mean, then came back to Ash Gold, Kotoko, Power. I mean, Charlie Return. It was some way. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but after showing so much promise on the local scene, a lot of us were expecting that. Yeah. Once they go out there, they were going to be the big hitters. Even Don Dada.
Yeah.
Dada also went.
Because for him, I think he had the right kind of arrogance to shine in any big team. I think he had it. Yeah. Maybe there were other issues that
Don Dada. Telling all sorts of stories. They said, Don Bote go take watch and
Charlie, wild stories.
Then Don Bote didn't succeed abroad. But he was one of our
top players.
Don was hot.
So he was like a Ronaldo.
Yeah. Maverick type player. Played for Gapoha. Hearts plucked him from Gapoha.
Gapoha.
Terrorized them a lot. Hearts plucked him from Gapua and then he joined. What I loved really about Don Bote was that every time he always had a very funny celebration. Like he would drop some new Borhe move. Don Bote was Borhe before Borhe became a thing.
And you give
with the bleached hair.
And he would talk big.
Yeah, he talked big.
He will walk the talk to when he goes on the
scoring free kicks for fun. He was a very audacious player. There was a goal he scored against Santos in one of Hearts of Oak's expeditions in Africa. Was in the Comfort Cup. He scored from the halfway line. I don't know if you remember that goal. He scored from the halfway line against Santos of South Africa. I remember it was a windy. The air was blowing, and he decided to gamble on it, and then the air just scored the goalkeeper from. But Don Bote was a character.
Yeah.
Character.
And at the point, Kotoko wanted to snatch him from Hearts. But Mensah was really keen on taking him to Kotoko, just like he did with Charles Taylor. But you know,
he went to Kumasi and went to collect yogurt and people's money and this.
But Herbert Mensah, Hariza Ko.
They added a setting.
I think those guys are generational.
They understood the game differently.
They are generational.
You know, they had a different understanding of the game.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember Herbert came rebuilding. It became his nickname, rebuilding. But really, that time Kotoko were up to something good. You know, and the league, we saw some professionalism around that time. Harizako was also, I don't know what it was. I don't know what his motivation was, where he was getting the motivation from. But you could see Hearts always trying to be up there. Pese Manche also then, back then, no. When you see Tommy Ukai, when you see Tommy in the thick of things, he does everything. And when they say everything, it's not these days that you people, everything.
How do you
when you say proper operations man, that was Tommy for you.
How do you mean proper operations? What do you mean by that? What
operations manager.
Anyway, 9:42. We'll be wrapping it up. We'll be wrapping it up in a bit. But the Black Princesses are in action this morning. I've got time. What are they? They are Nigeria put inside already. They are losing by 2. Ray,
they only beat them the first time, and then
you jinxed the team.
Mommy, when you told me this one that day, I said, "We'll finish second. You don't worry. Just wait for the second." And they've collected 2 already. Yeah, we predicted 2-1 for them, so they'll score 1, then they win.
Queens,
oh no, they can't beat them. They can't beat them.
The Princesses.
They can't beat them.
But they are just 3 teams, so I don't even like the format that they are using. You know, they are playing back-to-back games in succession. I don't know what Wafu are doing about it, but I thought that
they are playing like a schools league.
Yeah, I thought when 4 out of 7 teams withdraw from a tournament, either you postpone it or you find a way to get them to come onto the table and then play. But you don't play a three country. I don't know whether it's a league format or whatever they are doing, and then let them play back-to-back. It's a national team. I don't know anywhere in the world where you let a national team play a game today and play again tomorrow. And that's what they did with the first round of matches. They played the first day and then played again the second day, back to back. It doesn't happen anywhere.
I see. Of course, the players will get tired.
They will, and these are young players. They're not even professional players yet. And you're letting them play back to back games in succession. I don't know.
Anyway, we'll be keeping an eye on the Black Princesses. They are currently in Benin playing in the Wafubi tournament. If you have any birthday messages for Accra Hearts of Oak, I don't know why Kwame Parado hasn't told us what they are doing today. They should let us know. Are they doing a party?
They can't do anything.
Where?
They are doing what? Hey! They don't have flyers on social.
Nathan, Nathan. Nathan, read the room. Nathan, read the room. Nathan, read the room. You see, what did I tell you today? I said the House of Folk want to do anything for themselves today. Today they should lock themselves in a room and not celebrate this birthday. This is a time for deep introspection.
It's a time for deep introspection.
Deep introspection. Look at the club. Look at the state of the club. Ask yourself, is this where we want to be? Is this where we are supposed to be? Why are we here? And now start thinking of turning around the fortunes of the club. So today, milestone with very insignificant achievement in recent times. You not be celebrating. What is there to celebrate? Even on Sunday, your rival is beating you. You get it? Look, there's nothing to celebrate. So today would be a solemn celebration, a celebration of sadness. So today I'm expecting House of Folk to be holding a church service on their knees, praying to God for salvation.
Oh, so is it
because they are lost.
How are they lost?
Oh, Nathan, House of Folk only exists in name today. Name and past glory. That is where House of Folk are today. So I like the fact that they are not making noise. It tells us that indeed they appreciate and understand where they are as a club today. Today, they should be praying. If it is mosque they'll go to, go and pray. Church they'll go to, go and pray. If it is the other one too, they should go there and do all the things. Do all the things. Pacify the gods. And pray that their fortunes will turn around. Look, that is what would be a successful celebration of their birthday today. They can't be cutting cake. Cut cake for what? Pop champagne for what? So, in fact, I like this quiet celebration from us. They should maintain it. When they start performing, they can start the champagne and the cake and the parties.
I don't agree. I think you know there are a lot of fans to be won onto the side of the team. This is a team that has lost a lot of fans in recent years. So you want to galvanize your fans. You want to galvanize the young ones who do not know the stories or the achievements of the club in the past. This treble that we are talking about here, it's a huge achievement.
You've taken us back to treble.
No, I'm coming. I'm building a point. I'm building a point. I'm building a point. So United have not been themselves in recent time. It doesn't mean they don't celebrate their milestones. So what you do is that you reflect on the past and try to build on it or replicate it. So you are losing fans. Fans, as people now, maybe there's somebody who has said for the first time today that you won a treble. Where are the treble trophies? Where are they? Bring them and table them down. Let the young fans see it and know that you've been there before. So that even the current players will be inspired by what their predecessors did and try to do it. But you can't forget your past and say, oh, we've not won anything, so we'll not celebrate anything at all. Whatever you do, they are now 114 years old. So they need to celebrate that milestone.
114.
Yeah.
What is there to celebrate today?
But the 114 is not just today.
Isn't but somewhere. Right, let's go and bring our trophies, our old trophies, and come and celebrate.
Bring them. Because
today, I am telling you that you only exist in name. And the only thing that you are following on is past glory.
But
you yourself, if you are House of Folk, will you be proud of yourself?
But those trophies were earned.
So you need to be proud of yourself today.
But Ray, the trophies were
Sunday, go and beat Kotoko. You are doing handkerchief. Ye him, ye be him.
That's another issue altogether. But they need to celebrate the moment, and they need to relish what they achieved in the past, and then try to build on it.
Brother. They know the time. If you see, they themselves, they know the time. That's why they are not making noise.
Raymond, a Hassan who was born in 2010, who has not seen the club win the Champions League, would want to see the trophy. So parade it. Put it in a museum somewhere. Let them come and see it. Let them come and see the club.
Let them have a trophy cabinet in their new building.
Maybe they do.
Yeah, it's there. If you want to go and see, you can go and see.
No, but they need to. I'm not saying they need to parade it. Like I say, they've not posted anything on social media. So how are you?
There's nothing to be proud of. There's nothing to be proud of. What is there to be proud of?
I'm not saying they should be proud of their current state.
Oh, I'm saying that.
But they need to. They need to.
As for the celebration, they will start celebrating when they start doing well. I said today, see, Nathan, today House of Folk should have even called for National Day of Prayer for phobias. Oh, I'm telling you, National Day of Prayer for House of Folk. Because where they've reached, from where they were and where they've gotten to, if they talk about serious retrogression, this is it. So House of Folk, today you are mentioning House of Folk coaches, list of House of Folk coaches. Then you can mention.
Hey, don't mention anybody's name.
Oh,
don't mention.
Don't.
See, Nathan,
which name are you going to mention?
Hey.
happy birthday to Hearts of Oak. You are 114 years today. We wish you the very best.
Nathan, give us a song. Give us a song, small.
So Hearts of Oak celebrating their birthday today. They are not the only ones celebrating birthday too. Huh? Okay, hold on.
Hey, Nathan, Nathan, House of Oak. Nathan, let me remind you of this one. House of Oak, between 2010 and 2020. Hey, Nathan, House of Oak sacked as many as 20 coaches.
So what are you saying?
Nathan, Costa Papic came sacked. They brought someone being a Bosha Vushishevich. He sacked him. Brought Shaibu Tanko, Siki, Akuno Dems. Hey, Charlie. Duncan came. Kenny T. Thank you, my brother. They brought someone to Sergio Traguil.
Yeah.
They brought Frank. They brought Frank Talentis. Hey.
I remember.
They brought Hoffman, Kim Grant. Hey, House of Oak. You do all. That's what I'm saying, Nathan. Today, National Day of Prayer and Fasting for House of Oak. Because where they are, there's this song, when you finish, play for them. Maybe I do, yeah, just say, more.
Charlie, stop.
That one, Nana Kwame will put that song for them. That's my song, my dedication to them.
Okay, no problem. All right, let me read this one. This one is from producer Abigail. She's wishing her niece, Nanaya Ajele Amwa, a happy birthday. So she's 15 today.
Fantastic.
She's a third-year science student at Kobo Girls SHS. The message is, I wish her more blessings and God's unending favor from her siblings, Adum and Ohima, her parents and Abigail, and wish her well and lots of love. So Abigail says that's her phobia baby. So her niece was born on the 11th.
You shouldn't add phobia to the team. No. It's not phobia baby. You remove the phobia.
Why? So now associating with heart is a bad thing or what?
That is not performing.
Anyway, 9:53. That's how I wrap it up this morning on the Sporty Breakfast.
That my song go for House of Oak.
Today's also the birthday of the legend Mohamed Polo.
Hey!
Yes. Today's his birthday.
Super Polo. Yeah. Champion Polo. Yeah. So
the dribbling magician.
Polo versus Polo.
The scientific footballer.
Yeah. Polo.
Polo to Polo.
Yeah, Polo to Polo.
But do you know when Mohamed Polo coached Hearts of Oak in the interim? Do you know his nickname? MP3.
Why?
Boys were calling him MP3.
Why was he conceding 3 goals?
Yes, they said he was on a regular. On a regular, he was conceding. Three. But look, let me give you a twist of fate. The irony of ironies. Today is Nana Pinkre's birthday.
What a day.
Hey. Oh, fantastic. We wish him happy birthday.
So today is Nana Pink. Nana Pink, happy birthday to you. Nana,
he there you should celebrate. Nana should celebrate. You should celebrate.
So Hearts didn't celebrate. So Nana, his people gave him a birthday present.
Yes.
Last week Sunday.
So he there, you let him celebrate.
So Hearts shouldn't celebrate.
No, Hearts. They themselves, you know. You Nana, drop the song, drop the tune for them. Then they
let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
This House of Folk song.
Relax. We'll play the song
from me.
We'll play which one? I just said, wow. Anyway, before we leave, MTN free after 1 extra is here. MTN is saying that talk for 1 whole hour uninterrupted while paying for only the first minute of every 10 minutes you talk, right? And when you do that, you get to talk for 60 minutes straight. You also get 100 MB of data for free every Saturday after your first call. And just dial *550# to subscribe, right? And then Dunia Safari and Sporty FM, so we are combining our powers to take you to Morocco. So go and watch the AFCON in Morocco. We want you to go there. Go and enjoy yourself in Morocco. Watch the AFCON. Go and watch Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, other countries. Use the promo code SPORTYFAN25 if you are a minimum of 3 people booking, and you get a 20% discount on all that's on offer. So visit duniasafari.com to find out more, or call 053-808-7709, or send an email, travelduniasafari@gmail.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Travel Dunia Safari. Don't forget to book using the Sporty FM promo code SPORTYFAN25. That's how I wrap it up this morning on Hearts of Oak's birthday edition of the Sporty Breakfast. Many shouts to my team, Raymond Yamado, my wingman, Emmanuel Ayamga, who put together that lovely story. Shout outs to Fly as well. Shout outs to Abigail, Immortal, Naneki, and Angela. They were the pillars of production. Shout outs to my DJ Fidelis. And Anna Kwame Labi also in the building. He's behind the 1s and 2s. And he will play Raymond's song before we leave, or as we leave. And remember, there's the news at midday. Sporty Plug 12:30. Sporty Drive at 4. And European Nights later at 7. Kosifiaka, or is it Eustace Niakwe? One of them will be here to take you through that. Keep your doors locked on Sporty FM 106.1, Ghana's first and exclusive all sport radio station. It's sports morning, afternoon, night, and we do it all over again. 24/7 non-stop sports on overload. My name is Nathan Carr. This has been the Sporty Breakfast. We'll catch you later. Enjoy the rest of your day. But Raymond says this is a special dedication to Accra Hearts of Oak on their birthday.